settle a neighborhood dispute. They live in the same recruiting territory. It's Tallahassee versus Gainesville, a relatively young rivalry that has come of age. Florida wanted to win the Southeastern Conference Championship. They didn't make it, but they missed a perfect season up to now by only 8 points. Florida State hoped for national honors. They have missed a perfect season by only 10 points. So today the rewards are simple and apparent. Florida State versus Florida for prestige, recruiting advantage, pride, and bragging rights. Exciting college football on CBS Sports. Florida Field on the campus of the University of Florida in Gainesville. Florida State Seminoles and the Florida Gators. We expect a lot of noise, a lot of color, and a lot of excitement here today. Some 73,000 fans on hand for the renewal of this series, led by Florida 18-6-1. Florida has won the last 2 games, but the 4 before that were won by Florida State. The coaches, Charlie Pell of Florida, Bobby Bowden of Florida State, they're all even against each other at 2-2. Florida State has a reputation of being able to win on the road, but they've lost 3 so far this year. And here come the Florida State Seminoles. And here come the Gators of the University of Florida. I'm Lindsey Nelson with Pat Haden. We expected a lot of noise and a lot of excitement, and we're getting it. Pat Haden, first of all, let's talk about the football game. It's a little unusual situation with the quarterbacks at Florida State.
Well, Bobby Bowden loves to throw the football, and he has said today that they have to throw the football today to win. His quarterback is Bob Davis, number 10. He's a junior. He didn't get a chance to play much this entire year until the 8th game of the season when we replaced the starter, Kelly Lowry. But he's played very well for the Seminoles. He's completed 59% of his passes. But Kelly Lowry, number 12, is available today. His knee injury is recuperated. He's a big, tough, physical type of guy. Bobby Bowden says he will use them if they need some spark.
Well, for this particular game, it's also an unusual situation with the running back.
Well, Howard Schnellenberger, the head football coach at Miami, says that Roosevelt Snipes and Greg Allen are the best tailback tandem in the country. But you're going to see a little different lineup today. Greg Allen and Roosevelt Snipes are going to play in the same backfield. Greg Allen, the All-American, is going to open up at fullback. Snipes at tailback, he's going to open up there, and they want to get him the ball in the open field as much as they possibly can.
University of Florida has a balanced, solid attack, and it's led by a veteran.
Wayne Peace, the quarterback. It's a balanced offense, a well-controlled passing game. Wayne Peace has completed 63% of his passes this year. Likes to get you in those 3rd and 3 situations, dump the ball off your back, and pick up a first down.
You can't talk about Florida without talking about Wilber Marshall in defense.
Well, he is the All-American, and Bobby Bowden says you better know where he is because he is Florida's pass rush. Can chase you down from behind and make a lot of big plays.
If the game comes down to 1 point to decide it, it might be the punting of Florida.
Well, field position is going to be critical, and Florida really has the key here. They have 2 punters. Number 13, Ray Criswell's averaged over 47 yards a punt, had 12 punts over 50 yards. And David Nardoni, number 6, he's their short punter. He kicks it out of bounds inside the 10-yard line and makes the opposing team go a long way.
And that just about sets it up. Florida State versus Florida. Final regular season game of the season before a sellout crowd in Gainesville, Florida.
Exclusive present.
We're ready for the kickoff by Florida State. Here's Barco with the kick. Hampton is chasing it over, and it's going to go out of bounds and across the end line. Henderson did not offer in the corner. It'll be a touchback, 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. The officials are split crewed here today, the SEC and the Southern Independents, with Jimmy Harper as the referee. A split crew of officials. 73 degrees, humidity 65%, northeast 15 miles per hour. The wind could be something of a factor. Forecast cloudy. The sun is trying to break through the overcast, and in the sunshine state, I'm sure it will. Peace brings him up now, number 15, Wayne Peace. That's Hampton moving over to a slot left. Williams is the fullback to the slot. Hampton. Lorenzo Hampton. Up there to the 29-yard line. Picked up 9. Steve Bloodworth, the walk-on the right corner. made the tackle. Let's set the backs and receivers for Florida now.
At quarterback, number 15, Wayne Peace. He's passed for over 7,000 yards in his career.
John L. Williams, the fullback, has averaged 6.3 per carry.
Dwayne Dixon, their leading receiver, with 40 catches this year.
Second down and a yard to go. Wayne Peace, the quarterback. Running backs in an I formation for Florida. That is Hampton. He's got the 1st and 10 for the Florida Gators out at the 36-yard line. So the Gators draw the first down of the day. Tackle was made by Ponder. Let's look at the offensive line for the Gators now.
The man to watch is the center, number 50, Phil Brumley. He's been an all-Southeast Conference selection.
First down, 10 yards to go at the 36-yard line. It's Hampton in the tailback. Williams is the fullback. Here's the pitch, Hampton. Hampton slashes down to the 35 to 40-yard line. Pat Milligan from Fort Lauderdale in to make the tackle, a gain of 4. Let's set the defense now for Florida State.
Up front, number 76, Alfonso Carricker. Bobby Bowden said he's the best defensive tackle to play at FSU.
And the linebackers, Ken Rowe weighs only 205 pounds, but he can hit and he can pursue.
In the defensive backfield, Eric Riley has 4 of his team's 10 interceptions.
Second down, 6 yards to go. Florida in possession, the game having just begun. Peace on his draw play this time. Taken by Williams, John L. Williams, the sophomore from Palatka. Stopped by John McLean from Claremont, Florida. Bobby Bowden, the head coach of the Seminoles. At one stretch, starting in 1977, he racked up 4 consecutive victories over Florida in this series.
Lindsey, Florida likes to pick at you early in the football game. It's a controlled game. They mix the run and the pass, but they like to throw the short pass. The first play we saw them throw a short pass to Hampton. They've run Hampton a couple times off tackle, but they like to keep you off balance, but with a controlled offensive scheme.
Little B. Lang, 5'8", is far to the right side. But it's going to the left side, and it's completed to Dixon. Dixon's across the 50-yard line. He's the favorite receiver. It's going to be marked at the 48. Steve Bloodworth, the walk-on the right corner, was the defender. First and 10 for the Gators.
Nothing fancy here. Wayne Peace to Dwayne Dixon, number 83. Another all-Southeastern Conference selection at receiver. That's his 43rd reception of the year. The ball is very well thrown. You can see why Peace has such a high completion percentage. You can't help but catch those kind of passes.
Joe Henderson into the ball game at fullback. John L. Williams out for Florida. Henderson is 39. McDonald's in the ball game now. Hampton to a wide right. Lone setback. That's Henderson. Peace now pitches to Henderson. And he's going nowhere. There's no gain on the play. Henderson from Winter Garden, Florida, stopped by Isaac Williams from Sanford. Make it second down and 10 yards to go at the 48-yard line. Charlie Pell, head coach at the University of Florida, came here after having had a successful career at Clemson. Played his college football at the University of Alabama and later was on the coaching staff of Paul Bear Bryant. Henderson comes out of the ball game. John L. Williams comes back in for the Gators. They'll do a lot of shuttling. They get him in there and they get him out. Tom Petty, tight end, moves to the right side. Peace throwing and completing inside the 30-yard line. It is Nathiel all the way down to the 10-yard line. First down and goal to go, a 38-yard pickup for the Gators. Peace to Nathiel.
A very impressive opening drive. You see the way that Florida has run the ball effectively here in the first series. Then they fake it to Hampton, get Peace to the outside, and he dumps another short pass over to 89 Ricky Nathiel. He breaks a couple tackles and gets way down to the 10-yard line. Another look from the ground level, but again, this is Florida's philosophy. Dump the ball short, make you miss a couple of tackles, come up with a big play.
First down and goal to go. Tip of the ball touching the 10-yard line. Dixon in motion across. It's to the tailback. Hampton diving up to the 7-yard line. Second down and goal at the 7. Stop was made by Brian McCrary from Germantown, Tennessee. He's the free safety.
Bobby Bowden was very concerned about Florida's ability to be able to control the clock and control the football. If this first series is any indication, Florida State's defense is in for a long afternoon. Actually, they've had a long season defensively.
Walter Odom's in there tight end now. Neil Anderson's in at tailback, number 27 for Florida. Ball is at the 7-yard line. Peace. piled it up inches away from the goal line. He did not get in, but he got very, very close. Wayne Peace, the quarterback, carrying McCrary, was the man in under who made the tackle. It'll be third down now.
We've seen a lot of different offense here from Florida. Now you're going to see an option play. You see Wayne Peace turn around to give his lead blockers an opportunity to come in and give them some help. You saw 22 John L. Williams give him a little block, but a lot of people out in front of Wayne Peace, and it brings the ball down close to a first down.
They're going to bring out the chain and measure for the possible first down now. The ball down there at about the 1. But it lacks that much, as you can tell. It started with the tip of the ball outside the 10-yard line. They're going to have now John L. Williams, Neil Anderson, and Lorenzo Hampton. What they like to do, what they have liked to do on other occasions, is to run a power I and have Williams go up and over down here in this circumstance.
They weren't too successful with that against Georgia, were they?
They weren't. That was the game plan. They tried it, and they had it down on the 1-yard line and didn't make it.
They've had difficulty scoring inside the 20-yard line. So this is a big test for them. First series of the ball game.
Third down. Williams in the left set. Anderson in the right set. Peace, the quarterback. Well, Peace has got it to Williams. Touchdown. However, there's a penalty marker. His knee was down, and in college football, when the knee goes down and touches the turf, the runner is down, and so Peace is down near the 5-yard line. Fourth down coming up.
That's exactly right. Wayne Peace, you're going to see him, he gets bumped right here by his offensive guard, number 68, John Hunt. Got in Peace's way, knocked him down. You see him is on his knee there. And as you mentioned, Lindsey, in college football, that's a dead ball. But this is the kind of mistakes that have plagued Florida's offense inside the 20-yard line all season long.
It's going to be Raymond in to attempt the field goal now. He is 14 for 17. His long is 46. And Ray Criswell will hold for him. He's the punter. And this will be a 21-yard attempt. Bobby Raymond attempting. Criswell puts it down, and it's a fake. Criswell now can't go. He was going to try to run it. And so the field goal attempt is no good on the fake field goal. Ken Rowe, the linebacker for Florida State, raided out and made the tackle.
Ray Criswell, now Florida had this in their game plan, obviously. They felt they could run a fake field goal against the Florida State defense. But right there, there's nowhere to go. Ray Criswell, the holder, number 13, picked it up. Thought there was going to be an opening right here in the bottom of the screen. They thought there was going to be a hole right there with number 76, Alfonso Carricker. And along with some help from his friends, McLean, 86, and some other players, really don't create that. There's where they thought on the right-hand part of the screen where the hole was going to open up. There's number 38, Ken Rowe, is right where they felt the hole was going to be. The kicker really didn't give much help, didn't create a block, but nowhere to go for Ray Criswell, the kicker. There's 9:21 left in the first quarter.
That's tonight the very unusual story of a high school girl who became the quarterback of the team and the homecoming queen.
A true and touching story. She's 5'4". They said she was too short. I don't understand that, Lindsey.
That's what they say about quarterbacks.
That's right. Very nice story, though.
First and 10 at the 10 now for Florida State. Allen took the ball. Allen at fullback and Snipes at tailback. Both in the same backfield now running out of the I formation. Here are the backs and receivers.
Quarterback Bob Davis. He's played the past 2.5 games, thrown six touchdowns and only 1 interception.
Greg Allen, who made the Walter Camp All-American already. He has rushed for over 1,000 yards this year.
And Ouija Thompson.
6'6", 220, and he can fly. He's had 31 receptions.
And the offensive line, their center, number 69, Tom McCormick, a walk-on who started for 3 seasons.
Second down and 8 yards to go. Short drop. Well, he tried to get to Ouija Thompson, but Ouija, I'm not sure, knew that. A little bit behind him. That's set to Florida Gators defense.
The defensive line, number 99, Roy Harris, recovering from knee surgery, but he is their emotional leader. He's back.
Wilbur Marshall, the All-American. He's made it again, and he'll be on everybody's list, I think. Very mobile, he can pursue.
The linebackers, number 59, Mark Korf. Pell says one of the most physical linebackers we've ever had.
And Tony Lillis back there at free safety. He calls the defensive signals and sets the deep defense. Here they come now. Bob Davis, the quarterback. Hester and Thompson, the wide receivers. Third down and 8 yards to go. Or the Seminoles. They're on 12. Try the draw play. That's Roosevelt Snipes. I beg your pardon, it's Allen. That's Greg Allen. Penalty marker, and the ball got away. Florida's got the football. It got away. Florida recovers the fumble. It was Allen, the ball carrier. It was recovered at the 26-yard line by Tony Lilly.
Not a bad call on 3rd and 8. A draw play to an All-American back, Greg Allen, number 26. You see him in the fullback position again for the first time. He's following the block of number 63, Ricky Render. He gets in the opening. He actually has the first down picked up, but he is crushed there by 88, Wilbur Marshall. The ball pops loose. 18, Tony Lilly is there. That's good defense.
So the Gators get another opportunity at the 26-yard line. The ball is dropped. Scramble is on. Florida retains possession. They recovered their own fumble at the 26-yard line. Neil Anderson on that one.
Let's take another look, Lindsey, at the fumble. Here's number 26, Greg Allen. He is breaking through. He has the first down picked up. It was 3rd and 8. There's the hit. Number 88, the All-American, Wilbur Marshall. There's no doubt that he is an All-American. You can see the ball come loose. There's 81 very alertly, Randy Clark. And 18, Tony Lilly, the free safety, came up with it.
Jimmy Harper with a procedure penalty.
Dead ball foul. Offensive.
That's a 5-yard penalty against the Gators. Moves them back to the 31-yard line. Makes it first down and 15 yards to go. Florida at the Florida State 31. There is no score in the first quarter. 8 minutes, 23 seconds left in the period. B. Lang, Dwayne Dixon to the wide receivers. That is Anderson. Neil Anderson, the tailback. Down to the 21-yard line. Picked up 10 yards, so it'll be second down and 5. John McLean made the tackle.
Nothing fancy here. Florida probably has the advantage up in the offensive line, and they're just going to make you stop them. Number 27, Neil Anderson, takes the ball deep in the I formation, cuts back, reads his blocks well, and picks up some good yardage. Good block by Phil Bromley, the center.
Lang's far to the left side. Odom set in the slot. Dixon's far to the right side. Anderson again. Got the first down. It's going to be first down goal to go at the 3-yard line. Pat Milligan made the saving tackle. 18 yards on that pickup by Neil Anderson, the leading rusher for the Florida Gators.
Take a look at the defensive secondary of Florida State. They look like they're expecting passes, so they're double covering the outside receivers. That leaves a little bit of a gap inside the middle there. Neil Anderson, once he breaks the initial line of scrimmage, he's way into the defensive secondary, picks up a big gain before you see any Seminole defenders.
They go into the power eye now. Anderson is the deep back. Williams the up back. Hampton off to the left. That's Anderson. Piled up. No signal yet. Did not get in. Anderson got very close, but was stopped by Milligan and by Steve Bloodworth.
All the ball needs to do is cross the plane of the goal line. Neil Anderson from the tailback position. Let's see what happens. He twists, he turns. You can't really tell from that angle.
As a Gator who's getting attention to the training staff now, who was injured on the play. That is Anderson, who's carried the ball the last 2 times. John Hunt from Orlando is the man shaken up. An offensive lineman.
Let's take another look at the play, Lindsey. Neil Anderson, again, power football. Florida has the advantage. This Florida State defense has been maligned all season long. Florida's going to come after them with some power football. Just line up their tailbacks deep. Control the line of scrimmage and give it to Anderson and Hampton 7 yards deep in the I formation.
Anderson has carried 3 times. He's picked up 30 yards. Second down goal to go. Hunt is out of the ball game. Jeff Zimmerman has replaced him at left offensive guard. That's for the Florida Gators. Stay in the power I formation. Williams ahead of Anderson. Hampton to the left side. By the sneak. Touchdown. Touchdown as Wayne Peace kept the football and took it in for the touchdown. Conversion attempt coming now by Bobby Raymond with Criswell holding. Raymond is 24 of 26 in points after this season. Criswell puts it down. Raymond boots it up, and it's good. So the Florida Gators have gone out in front by a score of 7-0. They moved on 4 plays to 26 yards after recovering the fumble, and it took 1 minute, 39 seconds.
And there's the touchdown. Wayne Peace, number 15, just diving over the right side of his line. Phil Bromley, Buddy Schulteis. But this touchdown was the culmination of a very opportunistic offense. You remember that Florida State turned the ball over. They converted it by running power football. 3 or 4 plays with Neil Anderson picking up huge chunks of yardage. Got down the ball. This time they put the ball into the end zone for 6.
Stewart first has converted the lead 7-0, and now it's going to be Chris Perkins of the Gators who will be kicking it off to Florida State. Florida State is going to have Rosie Snipes center deep, flanked by Billy Allen on one side and Eric Thomas on the other side. Artificial turf here. Snipes moves over to the corner. He's not going to run it out. Touchback, first and 10 at the 20-yard line. Snipes took it and knelt in the end zone. So now, Florida State will try to move it.
There's number 26, Greg Allen. We mentioned that he started at fullback today for the first time this year. Remember, he is an All-American. He's rushed for 1,000 yards. Yet Roosevelt Snipes, Bobby Bowden, this man right here, feels Roosevelt Snipes, number 20, may be just as good. They want to get Snipes in the open field as much as they can. You're going to see them shift Snipes actually into a receiver set out in the slot, try to get him the ball on some short passes, and let him take advantage of that speed and the skill in the open field.
Florida State offense, they've been known as a team that has a flashy offense. They have been known as a team that would try reverses, pitchbacks, gadget plays, anything. Davis with the ball, throws it out to Snipes in the left flank. However, he is snowed under for a loss on the play. It was Wilbur Marshall who got to him. Number 88, the great defender, along with Bruce Vaughn on that corner.
Surprise, surprise, Wilbur Marshall made the tackle, huh?
Loss of 6, makes it 2nd and 16. Wilbur Marshall broke his hand against USC and missed the Indiana State game this year, and has not been as spectacular nor heard from as much in the media as he was last year.
Right. We saw a time of possession, just like last year's game. Florida controlled the clock and never gave Florida State's very explosive offense an opportunity to use their skills.
Hassan Jones is in there now. They've got a crew of wide receivers. Try screen to the right side. That's Snipes again on the screen. This time they get back to the 18, where it's going to be 3rd and 12. Randy Clark from strong safety made the tackle, along with Tim Newton on the nose. Newton's had a fine year as the nose man for the Florida Gators.
Wilbur Marshall, number 88, he's been a factor certainly here in the first half. This time he's going to be taken out of the play. Again, trying to get Roosevelt Snipes into the patterns, into the open field. They throw him a little screen pass, although Wilbur Marshall is not in the play. A lot of his friends are.
Jesse Hester's in there now, number 4. He's a dangerous receiver, and along with that, Snipes moving over to a slot right. They want to get him out there where they can get the ball to him if they can. They try the draw play. To the other side, that is Allen carrying. Greg Allen could pick his way only to the 22, and that'll bring the punting unit onto the field now. Florida State unable to get the offense on track so far this afternoon. Greg Cleveland made the tackle with Wilbur Marshall. Punter now in to do the punting is Lewis Berry. He's the nephew of John James, former punter for the Atlanta Falcons from Panama City, Florida. He's averaged 41.6, his long this year 52.
A couple of very good punters today.
Roger Sibold is deep now for Florida. Tony Lilly is back there as well. Lilly, and he is at the 31-yard line, drops it. Lilly picks it up and returns it to the 35. Former high school quarterback. That was a 47-yard punt that was returned 4 yards. So Florida gets the ball still with excellent field position when we come back in just a moment. At Florida Field on the campus of the University of Florida in Gainesville, we have 4 minutes, 39 seconds left to play in the first quarter. The Gators are leading 7-0. They have the ball. 1st and 10 near the 35-yard line. He's handing it off to Neil Anderson, and Anderson got up to the 40-yard line. He picked up 5. Fred Jones made the tackle, 2nd and 5.
Florida,
that is Anderson.
Excuse me, Lindsey. Florida State has a different defensive philosophy. While you look at teams like Florida and Nebraska and Texas who have a base defense and you have to out-execute them, Florida State's defensive philosophy is to really actually guess, to look at your tendencies and try to put more people in those areas than you have. So far, it hasn't worked too well.
Bobby Bowden says if he guesses right, they have a good day. If he guesses wrong, a lot of points get scored against you. 2nd and 5. Wayne Peace with the football. Dropping back to look. Trying to hit Petty over the middle. And covering was Ken Rowe, the linebacker. Kelly Lowry.
There he is, number 12, Kelly Lowry. We talked about him earlier in the game. He was a starter for the first 8 games. Hurt his knee. He is healthy. And Bobby Bowden says he'll put him in if the team needs a spark. A real competitor. One
of the reasons he didn't start him is the fact that he couldn't exercise when he had the knee surgery, and he ballooned up to 239.5 pounds. A 240-pound quarterback is unusual.
Bowden hasn't spoken to him since he put on all the weight.
Third down play coming now. 3rd and 5. Peace. Goes a screen right to Hampton. Hampton got about 4 yards on the play. Prince Matt from linebacker made the tackle. That brings the punter on, and that's Ray Criswell. Sophomore from Orange Park, Florida. He was a quarterback in high school. Hassan Jones is dropping back deep. Jones is a speedster standing at his own 15-yard line. Hits and bounces across the 20 to the 15. There will be no run back. It'll start at the 18-yard line, or rather the 13-yard line. A 48-yard punt by Criswell. Following our game, it's NCAA basketball. Number 1 ranked Kentucky hosting Bobby Knight's Indiana Hoosiers.
Sam Bowie.
Sam Bowie, you bet, and Mel Turpin, the Twin Towers of Kentucky against Indiana. That is a real backdoor rivalry coming up right after this football game. Now we've got Cletus Jones in there at fullback, and Snipes is in the tailback. First and 10 at the 13 for Florida State. No, he was across the line at the 26-yard line. Taken there by Jesse Hester. Bob Davis hit him, but he could not stay in.
You said he hit him. He was well covered. Hester was, number 4. 1 foot has to be in bounds. Here's the throw. It is well thrown. Just 1 foot. It looked like he tapped his right foot there to me, in bounds. Right there. Looks like his right foot is tapped and in bounds. It should have been a reception.
Second down, 10 yards to go at the 13. Jones and Thompson are the wide receivers now. They'll shuttle him in and out all day. Ferguson on the ground to Rosie Snipes. Snipes got just to the 15-yard line before Tim Newton came in to make the stop. Tim Newton, the nose man.
Lindsey, we mentioned at the top of the show how big field position was in this football game. Florida State has started with 3 possessions, once on their 10-yard line, once on their 20-yard line, and once on their 13-yard line. And each time, they've ended up in a 3rd and long situation. And the 2 previous times, they've run the draw play in this situation.
I'll tell you about Tim Newton. He came to school as a 218-pound lineman, went to 290, now plays at 275.
Down to 275.
Down to 275. He's on the nose. Jones has the Utah pass. Rosie Snipes, Allen. Allen on the Utah pass.
There's a fumble.
Got away. The scramble is on. And so, it is Greg Cleveland, number 64 on the football for Florida. And again, the Gators get the football.
It's been a difficult first half for Greg Allen. That is his 2nd fumble that Florida has recovered. As you mentioned, it was the Utah pass or shovel pass. Guess who? It was 88 Wilbur Marshall who stripped the ball for the 2nd time. The ball comes loose. Watch 26 Greg Allen. Again, pretty big haul on the draw play. But remember, the pitch play. Wilbur Marshall knocks the ball out. There is 64 Greg Cleveland to make the recovery. Florida has the ball on the 25.
First down and 10 yards to go. Wayne Peace, the quarterback. Gives it to his tailback, Neil Anderson. Anderson gets up there to the 22-yard line. Penalty marker on the play. Jimmy Harper, the referee, the man in the white cap. Holding against Florida.
Again, penalties have killed this Florida team all season long. Actually, that is their 73rd penalty of the season. Coming in today's game, they've given up over 600 yards in penalties. And the penalties have hurt them. Look at the games they tied. It was against USC. They had 6 penalties. They lost to Auburn. They had 10. They lost to Georgia, had 2. So they have very much hurt them.
Ball moves back there to about the 33-yard line. First down and 18 yards to go. Neil Anderson again. Found some running room. Saving tackle made out there by Steve Bloodworth. The corner, the little man out there, 5 feet 8 inches tall, 165-pounder, a walk-on. marked at the 21-yard line.
Again, one more time, Neil Anderson power football. The Florida offensive line is dominating the line of scrimmage. And here's a good look at Phil Bromley, the All-Southeastern Conference center. Gets a little help from John Hunt, the guard. You can see the hole right there for Neil Anderson.
2nd and 6 at the 20. 21. Anderson. Pushed out of bounds at the 18-yard line by Steve Bloodworth.
We talked about what bad field position Florida State has had on offense. On the other side of the ball, Florida has had very good field position. They've had 4 possessions. 2 of them have started in Florida State territory, on Florida State's 26 and on Florida State's 25, both after fumbles of Greg Allen's.
3rd and 3 at the 18. Running a slot left. That's Odom in the slot to the left side. Dixon beyond him. Anderson's the tailback. That's Odom in motion all the way across. That's Anderson. Didn't get the first down. Was upset and undercut by Ken Rowe, the linebacker from Cropwell, Alabama. That brings up a 4th down. Florida is leading by a score of 7-0, and now they're bringing Bobby Raymond on to attempt a field goal.
Good defense here. Number 38, Ken Rowe, the linebacker. You see there on the right-hand part of your screen. He hurdles right over John L. Williams and makes a stop and forces a field goal attempt. That's excellent defense by Rowe.
From the hash mark left, a 34-yard attempt now. Criswell was holding. Bobby Raymond is kicking. And it's good. 3 more points for the Florida Gators, who in the brilliant sunshine that is burst through here now lead by a score of 10-0. It's a gathering of some 73,000 fans here at Florida Field today for this annual battle between Florida State and Florida. It is, of course, a non-conference game. Each of these teams already has accepted a bowl bid. So this is just a backyard battle here this afternoon. Tomorrow, the NFL Today kicks off great regional action. Dallas Cowboys take on the dangerous Seattle Seahawks. Atlanta Falcons face John Riggins and the Redskins. Plus these other games you see. It all starts with the NFL Today. Check your local listings for your game tomorrow on CBS Sports.
The NFL Today, or the NFL, won an Emmy Award this week. We are all very, very proud of them for bringing us football on Sundays. Our congratulations to all of them.
Chris Perkins is going to kick it off now. Hash mark left. Rosie Snipes is in the center deep. Billy Allen's on one side and Eric Thomas on the other. Knuckleball. Snipes takes the knuckle on the 4-yard line to the 5, 10, 15. Snipes trying to get to the sideline and up the sideline. Returned it at that to the 35-yard line, where it'll be 1st down and 10 yards to go for Florida State. Curtis Stacy made the tackle for the Gators. 31-yard return.
Roosevelt Snipes came up with a big player there. This is the best field position the Florida State's offense has had all afternoon. Now, the offense has to do something. The defense has been on the field much too long here in the first half, the first quarter, and Florida is really taking it to them on defense. So the offense has to do their part, get a couple of first downs, come up with a big play.
It is Kelly Lowry at quarterback. They brought Lowry in at quarterback. 239-pounder has the football. Lowry pops it out there complete. Taken by Tom Wheeler as tight end. Bobby Bowden felt, I'm sure, that the time had come, having given up 10 points. He had to get Lowry on the field.
He felt that he could give them a spark. He is a senior. He is a leader. He is an incredible competitor. Bobby Bowden said about Lowry, he is the best all-around talented quarterback we've had at Florida State. Perhaps this is the lift that they need offensively.
1st and 10 now for the Seminoles at their own 46-yard line. Snipes and Cletus Jones are in that backfield. Snipes the tailback, Jones the fullback. Snipes with the ball. He's pulled out. Could not go, and it was Mark Korf, the linebacker. Gain of about 2 yards. Time has run out on the clock on the field, showing no time remaining. However, we haven't had no signal from the field itself. Clock says 15 minutes remain to be played. That means it's another quarter, folks. And so Jimmy Harper takes the football and marks it over to the other side of the 50-yard line. That was the end of the quarter. Florida 10, Florida State nothing. Bobby Bobby Bowden told us last night that he would not hesitate to bring Lowry into the ball game, that he would start him except for the fact that he was overweight and he thought he might run out of gas, but if he got behind, he wouldn't hesitate to bring him in. He's in as we start the second quarter, and that's Kelly Lowry with the football. Incomplete. It was Fred McAllister, the linebacker, number 46. Intended for Roosevelt Snipes. Let's check out that time of possession in the first quarter.
We said in last year's game that was the key statistic. It has been so far this game too. Florida 10 and a half minutes. Florida State 4.5 minutes. The Florida State offense is going to have to control the ball, but that has also been the story. 2 turnovers by Greg Allen has given Florida excellent field position, allowed them to put 10 points on the board.
For Florida State, Tom McCormick is out at center. Sam Restivo is in. Third down, 8 yards to go at the 48-yard line for the Seminoles. Kelly Lowry. All the time in the world. And it's complete. Taken down there inside the 35-yard line. Hassan Jones stopped by Fred McAllister. Jones knocked out at about the 31-yard line.
Bobby Bowden said the key to his offense is giving his quarterback time to throw. He's had plenty of time to throw, and you're going to watch number 88, Hassan Jones, run across the middle. The quarterback still is not under pressure. There's the throw and the catch for first down, but we're going to bring it back because there was a penalty on the play.
It's a procedure penalty against the Florida State Gators, so it'll cost them a 17-yard pickup on the pass. Bring it back to the line of scrimmage, and Jimmy Harper, the referee of the Southeastern Conference, marks off the 5-yard penalty.
Illegal procedure on the offense. 6 men on the line of scrimmage.
You got it? Formation violation.
Can you tell we're in the South?
Yes, he is. As a matter of fact, I've had Jimmy Harper in 3 consecutive games. I had him at Foxborough, Massachusetts for Boston College, Alabama, and at Kentucky for Kentucky, Tennessee. 3 in a row. Kelly Lowry. And it's caught. Taken by Hester. Jesse Hester at the 32-yard line. That'll be enough for a 1st and 10. Mark Korf, linebacker, made the tackle.
Kelly Lowry has done exactly what Bobby Bowden had hoped, and that's provide a spark. Again, excellent, superb protection for Lowry as it delivers another strike to Jesse Hester, number 4. Enough for the first down. It was 3rd and about 15. Hester ran the right route to pick up the first down.
He did that. They got 24 yards on the play. Now Tony Johnson comes in as a wide receiver, and Ouija Thompson goes off. Johnson to the left side, Jesse Harper to the right. Jesse Hester to the right side. Kelly Lowry going long, way down there, and Hester's got it. Touchdown. Jesse Hester for the touchdown.
Oh, I love it.
Vito McKeever covering on the corner. 33-yard pass play, and now a conversion attempt by Philip Hall, who is no good. No good as he stubbed that one.
That's the 6th extra point they have missed this season. A look at Kelly Lowry. He does it more by force of will than talent. But this ball is beautifully thrown to number 4, Jesse Hester. You saw Lowry look off the defense. He actually looked off the free safety, Tony Lilly, number 18. But absolutely a superb throw and remarkable concentration by Hester. Bobby Bowden calls him our most dangerous receiver, and you see why. Watch this catch. Superb.
And so the score is now Florida 10, Florida State 6. Lowry, since coming to the game, is 3 for 4, 68 yards, and 1 touchdown. Jesse Hester, who just made his 6th touchdown reception of this season. And it was a Lulu down deep in the end zone. Now it's going to be Florida State kicking off, and it'll be Barry Barco. There is the scoring drive. 5 plays, 65 yards, a minute 40. 33-yard pass from Lowry to Hester. Lorenzo Hampton is center deep to receive it. However, it's going into the end zone, and it will not be run out. It's a touchback. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Joe Henderson took it. There is Kelly Lowry.
He throws pretty good for a guy 240 pounds, doesn't he?
He certainly does. His quarterback coach is Mike Kruzik, formerly of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he's going to come back to an active career in the USFL at Jacksonville, and apparently Kelly Lowery is going to compete with him for the job.
I wonder if he's really teaching him how to read coverages. Do you think?
First down, 10 yards to go now for the Gators. They have the ball at their own 20-yard line. Hampton and Henderson in the backfield. Little groundskeeping taking place for the moment, holding up play. We're ready to go now. Wayne Peace playing his last game on Florida Field for the Gators. He's had an outstanding career at quarterback. Guard dropping country. Gathered in up there at the 29-yard line by Dwayne Dixon. It's a favorite passing combination of the Gators. Steve Bloodworth covering on the corner.
Football is a game of momentum. We saw Florida early in the football game have that momentum and give them 10 points. We saw a change at quarterback to gain some momentum for Florida State. Kelly Lowery gave that to him, came back and throw a touchdown. Now it's back up to Wayne Peace to try to get the momentum back in his favor. Keep Lowery off the field.
He is 5 for 6, 66 yards. They run the pitch this time to Henderson. Got the first down. Joe Henderson carried. And Brian Williams came in to make the tackle.
Let's take another look at the center, Phil Bromley, the All-Southeastern Conference center. Watch the kind of work that he has. He's snapping left-handed because he broke his right-handed early in the year. You see him doing a little crab block there on the linebacker on Fred Jones, number 55. That's good work by Bromley.
Last year, the Florida Gators won by keeping the football and keeping it away from Florida State. In the first quarter, Florida State had the ball 4 minutes, 33 seconds. Florida had it 10 minutes, 27 seconds. That's the way you play possession football. If you get a couple of breaks, you got something on the scoreboard. Well, it's a pitch to Hampton from Peace on one hop. Where do you go with it? Well, to the line of scrimmage, more than likely. Not quite that. Loss of about 3 yards on the play. Bloodworth again on the tackle with Brian Williams. Going to be spotted at the 29-yard line. Loss of 8 yards on the play. They're all out here for this one.
What shirt did he crawl off of?
A lot of those in this area, believe me.
Oh, yes.
Ray McDonald has come onto the field now as a wide receiver for Florida. Second and long. Wayne Peace. And it's completed to the 33-yard line. Taken there by Dixon. Dwayne Dixon, number 83. Tracy Ashley made the tackle.
Again, the short passing of Florida. Remember, it was second and very long there. They wanted to get it back in 2 chunks. A short pass there to Dwayne Dixon, number 83, but they're still faced with 3rd and 11.
3rd and 11 at the 36. Time remaining in the half. 12:42 and running. Florida leading by a score of 10-6. Wayne Peace. Completed it across the 50-yard line. Taken by Dwayne Dixon. John McLean made the tackle. Peace was reached just as he unloaded the football.
You're absolutely right. Wayne Peace was under some duress. Watch number 83, Dwayne Dixon. He averages 5 receptions a game. He's certainly been a factor here in the first half. The ball is right in the numbers there. He catches the ball, knows where the first down marker is, and picks it up, keeps the chains moving.
16-yard pickup on the play. Wayne Peace last year set an NCAA record for completions in the season, 71.3. It was broken by Steve Young of BYU this season. Henderson gets it all the way down to the 37-yard line. Now it's very close to a first down. They'll take a good look at this one. Might have picked it up as we look at it from here. They'll take it to the inbound mark and spot it. 1st and 10 for the Gators on the big gainer. At the 37-yard line of the Florida State Seminoles.
First down, Florida.
The best part of the Florida State team is their offense. Their defense is going to have to do something to get the ball back and let Kelly Lowery do his thing. They may have to blitz or slant or come up with a big turnover to give Lowery a chance.
Donald far to the right side. That's Williams 30 to the 29-yard line. Picked up about 8 on the play. It'll be second down and 2. Brian McCrary made the tackle.
Here's the play selection. We've seen Florida run the ball 20 times and very effectively. They've passed 8 times. Most of them are the short variety. Really a controlled passing game, almost like a run. Have dominated the line of scrimmage, controlled the clock.
Ricky Nattiel's far to the left side, McDonald to the right side. They move Hampton into the slot left. Donnell Williams alone set back for Peace, and Williams has got the ball. He's inside the 20-yard line and goes all the way down to the 16-yard line. McCrary finally brought him down at the 16.
Florida is controlling the nose guard. See how deep the safeties are. They really aren't there to come up and support. And here's John L. Williams, just a quick little hitter over the middle. Once you get past the nose guard, you're right in the secondary, but by the time you get there, you've already picked up 10 or 12 yards.
This is the sort of thing that Coach Bobby Bowden of Florida State was concerned about. He's saying you can't run an offense and score if you can't get the ball. Ball control offense by Florida Gators. Donnell Williams and got loose from him, and they stack him up down there about the 15-yard line. Florida retains possession at the 15.
Well, that's what Florida State has to hope for, actually, a turnover and coming up with the ball there. Florida retained possession.
Second and 9 at the 15. Actually gained a yard on the fumble. Scott Trimble was the man who was on the ball. Lake Brantley, Florida, 6'5", 291-pound offensive tackle. And here's a timeout signal. Timeout charge to Florida. First of 3 charged to the Florida Gators. So the Gators are out front of the ball game. They're leading by a score of 10 to 6. They're threatening again. They're down at the 15. We have 10 minutes, 2 seconds remaining to be played in the first half. At Florida Field in Gainesville, Florida, some 73,000 fans packed and jammed in here. We have 10 minutes, 2 seconds remaining to be played in the first half. The Gators are leading the Seminoles by a score of 10-6. Florida has the ball at the 15-yard line, second and 9. I'm Lindsey Nelson with Pat Hayden. Wayne Peace, the quarterback, number 15. Receivers double to the right side, movement. The offensive line, then of the defensive line, and then contact.
We've mentioned penalties and how they have hurt this Florida football team all season long. Again, that is their 73rd penalty of the season.
Cost them 5.
Their third of the day for 20 yards.
Illegal procedure on the offense.
I think it was Lomas Brown who moved. Ball moves back to the 20-yard line. Second and 14 at the 20. He's stopped by Ken Rowe, the linebacker, on the left side. Down there at the 17-yard line. Be third down and 11. Spotted now on the 12. Beg your pardon, 17. There goes the little man, B. Lang, far to the right side. Move Tom Petty, the tight end, over right. Dixon in motion across. Wayne Peace. Incomplete to Dixon in the end zone. Bloodworth covering. Little man Bloodworth, the walk-on in the right corner that we talked about in the NCAA today, is the man who was there, number 9.
Wayne Peace had number 83, Dwayne Dixon, open early, but he was under pressure from Alfonso Carricker, so he couldn't get the ball to him. You can see 83 Dixon there beating Bloodworth. He's open, but again, Peace is under duress. He throws the ball late, and Bloodworth makes a nice play. The walk-on, Steve Bloodworth.
Fourth down coming up here. A 33-yard attempt for Bobby Raymond. Criswell is holding for it. 33-yarder is good. But Florida adds 3 more from the kicker. 9 minutes, 13 seconds remaining to be played in the first half of the ball game. The Gators are now leading by a score of 13 to 6. Yes. Indiana and Kentucky coming up next now. Live from Rupp Arena. One of the big college basketball games.
Talking about a few national championships between those two schools.
These are the starting lineups, the ball players that we expect to see in the Indiana versus Kentucky coming up immediately following this football telecast. It's going to be Chris Perkins kicking off. Snipes in the end zone. Will not run it out. Touchback first and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Time of possession, as you mentioned earlier, Lindsey, you cannot score without the football. Florida State has not had it enough. Florida's had it for 10 more minutes here in the first half. There's still 9 minutes left to go in the first half.
Kelly Lowry, number 12, the quarterback. He can throw it a mile. Strong arm. Lowry short drop. Gets it out to Hester. Jesse Hester out of bounds at the 26-yard line. Picked up 6. It'll be 2nd and 4. Ricky Eastman on the corner. Ran him out. There's Eastman on that corner from Dunellen, Florida.
We've seen two different styles of passing here. Florida State really does like to get the ball downfield to their wide receivers. We saw the big touchdown catch by Hester a little earlier. Florida, on the other hand, again, as we've seen, likes to dump the ball off to the backs and throw short routes to Dixon. They both get the job done, but different approaches.
Hester's caught 3 for 63 yards so far. He's coming out to a wide left this time. Allen and Snipes are the running backs in there together. That's Allen. Greg Allen with the football. On to Little Daylight. He's rushed for over 1,000 this year. Got to the 35 there. Ricky Eastman in to make the stop. First and 10, a gain of about 9 on the play.
There he is. They made the Walter Camp All-American football team, as well as Wilbur Marshall, number 88 for Florida.
Last year he led the nation in scoring. This year he scored 12 touchdowns. Greg Allen. McCormick's back in there at center. Cletus Jones is the fullback. Snipes is the tailback. Lowry mobilizing at the line of scrimmage. He's got the ball. Hester. Incomplete. The move was made by Bruce Vaughn from Largo, Florida, the cornerback over there. 47.
This is a superb defensive play by 47 Bruce Vaughn. He has him one-on-one out here because it's a safety blitz. He reads the out cut and dives right in front of Hester. Almost nearly intercepts the ball, but certainly prevents Hester from making the catch.
Lowry is 4 for 6, 74 yards and 1 touchdown since coming in.
There's Vaughn. They say he reads receivers and cuts as well as anyone we've ever had here who's played defensive back.
8 minutes, 32 seconds left in the first half. Lowry. Incomplete. It was Tony Johnson trying to hang on his fingertips, but he could not. It's incomplete. Burnell Brown was covering.
Take a look at the defensive secondary of Florida and how they're trying to defend Kelly Lowry. To see the two safeties deep in the middle of the screen right there. They want to take away the deep play that Hester caught a little bit earlier. So what do you have to do? You have to go underneath those safeties, and that's exactly what's happening here. But the linebackers do a very good job of dropping and actually force the ball to be thrown high so that Tony Johnson, number 82, can't catch the ball. That's good play by the linebackers of Florida.
3rd and 10 for the Seminoles. Kelly Lowry. And it's right into the hands of Wilbur Marshall. For the interception, Wilbur Marshall, 1st and 10, Florida at the Florida State 35-yard line.
Some players are in the right place at the right time. That makes them very good. Another sense of the game. Kelly Lowry is back. He's under incredible pressure there by number 8, Ricky Eastman, a corner blitz. And Lowry threw the ball without ever seeing Marshall. He was under duress, but Marshall was right there to make the interception.
Another turnover, and the Gators have the football. Wayne Peace dropping and running up the middle. Peace to the 30-yard line. Picked up 5 yards on the play. 2nd and 5 at the 30. Steve Bloodworth made the tackle, and there is Wilbur Marchant.
Bloodworth and Williams.
Dominating player on defense for Florida. That's exactly what Florida State's defense has lacked this year. The dominating player that can raise the level of his teammates, to raise the level of play of his teammates. Marshall certainly does that for the Gators.
Florida came into this game with a record of 7-2-1. Florida State came in 6-4. Leave it on the ground. Taken by Joe Henderson. Winter Garden, Florida. Got it down there to the 26-yard line before Brian Williams brought him down, a gain of 4. It'll be 3rd down and a yard to go. Time remaining is 7:22 and running. That's remaining in the first half. It was overcast most of the morning here in Gainesville, but just about kickoff time, the sun broke through the overcast. So we're getting a timeout signal here. It is charged to Florida State. So the Gators are leading Florida State by a score of 13-6 with 7:09 remaining in the first half. The Florida Gators have the ball now. 3rd down and a yard to go at the 26-yard line of Florida State. Wayne Peace, the quarterback. Neil Anderson, John L. Williams are the setbacks. They're in a power I formation. Give it to Anderson. He's got the 1st and 10. Up and over for the 1st down. McCrary made the tackle. Spotted just inside the 24-yard line. Charlie Pell, head coach of the Florida Gators, came here after having been head coach at Clemson. One time was on the staff at Virginia Tech. Played at Alabama, coached for Bear Bryant there, was on the staff at Kentucky. Veteran football man, Charlie Pell. Lang and Dixon are the wide receivers. Wayne Peace. Ken Rowe made the tackle. They sort of used the umpire as a screen there.
Ken Rowe's been making a lot of tackles today. There he is. They say he's the most efficient linebacker they have. Their leading tackler from Cropwell, Alabama.
2nd down and 10 yards to go. Wayne Peace in 1981 had 117 consecutive completions without an interception. His lifetime completion percentage, 61.4.
He is accurate.
Wayne Peace. Complete. Neil Anderson. Neil Anderson to the 5. 1st and goal at the 5 for the Gators. Peace to Anderson. Scott made the tackle.
Wayne
18 yards.
To Neil Anderson. You don't think these two, this is a hot interstate rivalry? Watch the effort of Neil Anderson after he catches this football. He's bouncing off a couple of tackles, jumping over guys. Finally does get tackled down there on the 5-yard line. A very good throw by Wayne Peace, again under a little bit of duress from Alfonso Carricker. The ball is well thrown right in the numbers to Anderson.
Wayne Peace has just broken John Reeves' Southeastern Conference and school record of 603 career completions. That record just set there by Wayne Peace with that completion. Timeout on the field. When play is resumed, it'll be at the 5-yard line. 1st and goal for the Gators. Florida leading Florida State by a score of 13-6. Well, there's the record we told you about that Wayne Peace just set, and he also has set another Southeastern Conference total offense. Wayne Peace has just moved past former Heisman winner Pat Sullivan into 3rd place with 6,853 yards. 1st and goal for the Gators at the 5-yard line of Florida State. 5 minutes, 46 seconds left in the half. Wayne Peace with the ball, throws into the end zone and incomplete. It was Tom Petty, the tight end, trying to scoop it up. 2nd and goal at the 5-yard line.
You're not going to see Wayne Peace miss too many of these kind of throws. But here, they fake it to Neil Anderson. That play has been so effective all day. The defense has to respect it, and you're going to see the result. Tom Petty, number 85, is wide open. But Peace tried to aim the ball. Sometimes quarterbacks do that. When they have a receiver wide open, instead of drilling the ball in there, they'll try to aim it, and that's exactly what happened there.
Florida has 108 yards passing and 107 yards what you call balance. Peace has got the ball. He's got a touchdown. Conversion attempt coming now. It is Bobby Raymond in to attempt it. Criswell is holding for him. Raymond's conversion is good. The Gators 20 and Florida State 6. 5:35 remaining to be played in the first half.
There was a little confusion here as you watch Wayne Peace. You can see a little early in the game, you remember he ran into the offensive lineman. There's some more confusion there, but Wayne Peace shows his athleticism. We said what a great thrower he is, how accurate it is. Here he uses his feet, as he did in this drive a couple of different times, scrambling for yardage. Here he gets into the end zone. Again, it's going to be an option play. You can see the right guard, Buddy Schulteis, number 73, leading out in front. Wayne Peace finds a little gap there and turns on the juice, knows where the end zone is. But this touchdown was really the result of another turnover. Florida State's third turnover. Remember Wilber Marshall intercepted that pass, gave Florida excellent field position for the third time today. Florida, being an opportunistic offense, put it in the end zone one more time.
And now we have the kickoff coming from the hash mark left, and it's going to be Chris Perkins kicking it off. That's Charlie Pell pacing the sidelines. Head coach of the Gators.
Well, you couldn't tell he's leading 26, could you?
Rosie Snipes. He won't get it. It's going to go into the end zone, and it's going to be run out. Eric Thomas is going to try to run it out and throw it back across the field. Taken over there by Hester. Jesse Hester now up the sideline. This is Florida State and Bobby Bowden. 45 all the way down to the Florida 39-yard line. Penalty marker on the play, I think.
Here's the throw. Bobby Bowden, you never know quite what to expect. Here is the throw back over to number 4, Jesse Hester. He felt if his defense couldn't keep Florida from the end zone, he was going to have to create some big plays. One way to do it is on special teams, and here is a big play. A surprise for a big gain way down into Florida territory at the 39.
Bobby Bowden, there is no penalty marker. 61-yard pickup. First and 10 at the 39-yard line of Florida. Lowry with the football. Swings it out to Allen. Greg Allen with the ball. Looking for some running room. Penalty marker is thrown. 2 penalty markers are thrown. So we'll have to check out the penalty markers now. Penalty is against Florida State. It'll be marked off from the 40-yard line. A 15-yard penalty will put the Seminoles back at their own 45.
Flipping on offense during the play.
That takes a lot of air out of the big play on the special teams by Hester. It's first and forever now.
It's all of that.
Jamie Dukes, number 64, he's right there. His helmet has to be in front of the defender there. You can see he clipped number 93, Alonzo Johnson. Good call by the official.
First and 26 yards to go. Kelly Lowry waiting to get the snap. By the draw play. It's Allen. Greg Allen got about 3 yards and was hit by Fred McAllister, the linebacker from Melbourne, Florida. That's up the 48-yard line. It'll be second down now and 23 yards to go. 4 minutes, 40 seconds left to play in the first half. Florida's leading by a score of 20-6. Allen has carried 6 times for 42 yards. Coming into the game today, he had rushed for 1,047 yards this year. 6 feet tall, 200-pounder. Snipes in the right set. Lowry. Going deep. Intercepted at the 25-yard line. Taken by Ricky Eastman. Eastman with the interception.
the 4th turnover by the Florida State offense. Number 88, Hassan Jones. It's actually double coverage here. You're going to see Ricky Eastman, number 8, come underneath the ball. He read Lowry all the way, made a very nice interception. Here, one more look. Ricky Eastman, the junior, is 5'10", 155 pounds, leaps up in front of Jones, makes a very nice play. Another big play by the Florida defense.
1st and 10 for Florida. They have the ball now at their own 23-yard line. By the tailback, Hampton. Lorenzo Hampton out to the 27. Stopped by Isaac Williams. Gain of 4 makes it 2nd down and 6 yards to go. Look at those turnovers. Fumble, and interception, touchdown, field goal, and touchdown. That's what you call capitalizing on your opportunities, and that is the name of the game.
Florida's just too good an offensive football team to be able to turn the ball over 4 times and not get hurt.
Into the tailback, and this time he's stacked up. Hampton pushed back at the 26-yard line by Ponder and by Stanley Scott. It'll be 3rd down and 7. Clock is running. 3:15 remaining to be played in the half. Florida leading Florida State 20-6. Lang is going far to the right side. Dixon far to the left side. Wayne Peach over the middle. Dixon at the 40, and Dixon gets it all the way up to the 44-yard line. Prince Matt made the tackle.
Here's a look at Bobby Bowden. Some people might think he just want to get into the halftime regroup. He's down 20-6. That is not Bobby Bowden's style. Believe me, if he gets the ball back, he's going to push the ball upfield and try to get it in the end zone. When you're down 20-6, you need to do some things like that.
1st down and 10 yards to go with the ball just outside the 44-yard line. Wayne Peace with a quick pitch to the outside to Neil Anderson. Anderson across the 50. Across the 45 and out of bounds at the 43-yard line. Brian McBurry ran him out. It'll be marked at the 44.
Florida has the capability of running the ball inside, get the tough yards. We've seen them do that with Neil Anderson. They also have the capability of running the ball outside with some speed. Again, here's the little quick toss to Anderson. He gets outside and picks up a 1st down.
Anderson's carried 10 times for 66 yards so far this afternoon. 1st and 10 Florida at the Florida State 44. This Henderson carry, spinning his way all the way down inside the 34-yard line. Alfonso Carrica, great defensive tackle, made the stop. Carrica's from Columbus, Ohio.
Got away from Ohio State.
He says Ohio State didn't really pay an awful lot of attention to him.
I think they may live to regret that.
They did. He's been back twice and participated in defeating them. They're measuring for the possible 1st down. It is a 1st and 10. Near the conclusion of today's CBS Sports NCAA football telecast, Pat and I will be selecting a Chevrolet Most Valuable Player from each of the teams. Chevrolet donates a $1,000 scholarship to the General Scholarship Fund of each school. The MVPs receive certificates from Chevrolet acknowledging their outstanding performances. 1st and 10 at the 34. Henderson, the up back, 39, got through there inside the 25 to the 23. Another 1st down. Pat Milligan made the stop. 1st and 10 at the 23.
Florida State's defense has been very soft right up the gut. You can see another huge gaping hole. Bromley, the center, does a nice job, clears the way for Henderson, but there's nobody there until the defensive backs. They're going to have to shift their defensive front to get some more help in the middle. The domination of the offensive line.
1st down play coming. Wayne Peace, the quarterback. Gives it to Henderson again. They keep running it until Florida State stops it. They're going to keep running it. It's inside the 5-yard line. McLean made the tackle. 1st and goal at the 5-yard line. An 18-yard pickup by Joe Henderson. from Winter Garden, Florida.
Lindsey, you are absolutely right. You keep running something until they stop it. So they come right back to Joe Henderson, the exact same play. Right past the nose guard, right past the linebackers, a couple of big blocks there into the defensive secondary. Another big gain by Joe Henderson.
John L. Williams is in there now with Neil Anderson. They're on a power I formation. Wayne Peace, the quarterback. Gives it to Williams. Got not much, maybe a foot. It was Isaac Williams who came underneath to make the stop. He's from Sanford, Florida. We have less than a minute remaining in the half, and the clock is running, and Florida wants a timeout. Peace running up there saying, give us a timeout, and they got it, and I think that's their last one. And now, as we have a timeout on the field, let's visit the campuses of both of these fine Florida schools.
I'm Robert Marston. A new and better world for all will grow from new opportunities in information transfer. Whether my own personal computer, improved student learning, or the protection of Florida's citrus industry, the University of Florida will be a part of and benefit from advances in the computer and information sciences. Because we know this will require new forms of cooperation, the University of Florida is developing this land for a research and technology park for industry.
54 seconds left to play in the half. Florida leading by a score of 20-6. The ball is at the 5-yard line. It'll be second down and goal at the 5 for the Florida Gators, and here they come. Wayne Peace is over on the sideline talking to the spotters upstairs on the headset, so he knows what they want to try to do here from the 5-yard line. They're in a power I formation. Williams, John L. Williams, down inside the 3-yard line where it'll be third down and go. Brad Foytik made the tackle. He's from Auburndale, Florida. Third and goal at the 3-yard line. Peace rolling and looking. Wants to throw back. Can't do that. Evades the tackler. Throws it away. Across the end line. It'll be fourth down coming up. Neil Anderson was down there in that general geographical area, but there seems to be a flag on the play, and it's being checked out just now.
Here's a look at Wayne Peace.
The flag was dropped inadvertently.
We heard the official saying the flag was dropped inadvertently, so this is a very smart play by Wayne Peace. He gets rid of the ball without taking a sack, but it's a big defensive play also by Florida State, which forces Florida into a 4th and goal situation and forces a field goal attempt.
Flag was thrown inadvertently, and so now the field goal unit has come on. And this will be a 21-yard attempt for Bobby Raymond. Ray Criswell holding for him. 21-yarder is good. 3 more points for the Florida Gators to make it 23-6. 18 seconds on the clock remaining to be played in the first half. One of the big games coming up, of course, in the postseason array is the Cotton Bowl game in Dallas, Texas on January 2nd. We've got Florida against Georgia, a fine football game.
Well, excellent defense. We've seen Texas a couple of times this year, the #1 ranked defense in the country. They've been superb. Georgia supports a very good defense as well. They've picked up after Herschel Walker doing quite well, thank you. Terry Hogue, the All-American, their strong safety. It's going to be a good game.
And, of course, also on CBS Sports, you'll see the Sun Bowl. That's Alabama against SMU on Saturday, December 24th.
SMU is probably one of the finest teams in the country that nobody's heard about. They haven't got the respect. Bobby Collins is disappointed that he hasn't gotten the respect throughout the country. They are a very good football team.
And also on CBS Sports, you'll see the Peach Bowl, and we'll tell you a little more about that later. Chris Perkins is ready to kick it off. Florida State and North Carolina in the Peach Bowl. It's a touchback. Eric Thomas sort of made a move there. Let's look again and talk about the Peach Bowl coming up in Atlanta. Florida State and North Carolina, that is on Friday, December 30th.
Well, Florida State's going to have to find some defense before they get there because North Carolina is a very good offensive football team. Scott Stankiewicz has had a very good year at quarterback.
Dr. Archie Roberts will report to the information booth at gate 2. Dr. Archie Roberts to the information booth at gate 2.
Kelly Lowry, the quarterback, brings him up now 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Stay tuned during the halftime intermission. We'll bring you all sorts of information with Brent Nera from New York. That is Greg Allen carrying the football, and he got out there for about 3. Wilbur Marshall upset him.
First half really has been a half of turnovers. Florida State has turned the ball over 4 times. But really, that's been the result of their defense really not keeping Florida off the field. They're playing catch-up, and that's why they turned the ball over so much.
Time has run out. It's the end of the first half. Our score is 23-6. We'll be back with Brent Nair from New York, plus a live report from Lexington, Kentucky. It's all coming up after this word about an upcoming show on CBS and a message coming from your local station.
Game you're watching here on CBS this afternoon. Florida is dominating Florida State 23-6 out there. I always like to walk around a golf course with that on your shirt right there. Coach, take us through some of the highlights.
You do when you're in Florida. Here's a little gadget. Ray Creswell, a holder. This isn't quite as innovative as Nebraska's attempt on a field goal attempt last week. They're unsuccessful, but Wayne Peace, the next opportunity after a fumble, takes it in for the first touchdown for Florida. Bobby Bowden, as you see there, a little concerned. Here's a touchdown from Kelly Lowry to Hester, a beautiful throw, a great catch in the end zone. Hester's a great wideout. And here comes Wayne Peace on a little option play. I think it's a little mix-up, but he sees the daylight and takes it in for the touchdown.
And, of course, Florida has dominated the game, at least in the first half. Now, coming up on CBS.
Florida State versus Florida, an exclusive presentation of CBS Sports, is sponsored by Mazda and the full line of sophisticated Mazda products. The investment firm of Dean Witter, we're worth asking about. And by Michelob Light, an exceptional light beer with a rich, smooth taste.
It's halftime, and Florida is leading Florida State by a score of 23-6. Here are halftime stats.
Lindsay, the real story has been turnovers. You see there Florida State has turned the ball over 4 times, 2 fumbles and 2 interceptions. Now Florida's got them backed up. Florida State is down. Florida State's going to have to come out and play guess-up football, throw the football, and I expect to see some more pressure on Kelly Lowry and perhaps a couple more interceptions.
Time of possession has been such a big thing so far.
It has been in this series, too, and Florida has dominated the line of scrimmage. They controlled the clock and put Florida State in a disadvantaged field position.
What does Florida State have to do now coming out in the second half?
Well, I think it's important, again, for Kelly Lowry to keep coming up with some big plays. He did that in the first half. The problem now is to try to eliminate the mistakes, eliminate the turnovers.
Well, we got a lot of football coming here and a lot of football coming a lot of places. Field Scoville of the Cotton Bowl Selection Committee went to the University of Texas to invite the Longhorns to the Cotton Bowl game on January 2nd. So January 2nd, the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas. The Georgia Bulldogs and the Texas Longhorns on CBS Sports.
You've done a few of those Cotton Bowls, haven't you?
Cotton Bowl is exciting no matter what. We've had some great football games, and we'll have more. Of course, starting with January 2nd. We're going to have quite a half coming up here because I'm sure that Bobby Bowden and the Florida State Seminoles, are not going to let this game go by without pulling everything they've got out, and they've got a lot of things hidden away there.
Well, we saw the pass on the kickoff return, and Bobby Bowden is famous for this. He will throw the football from anywhere on the field. He'll run reverses. He'll do whatever he has to do to try to come up with a win.
You know, it's the kind of football game that Charlie Pell sort of likes to play. He's in control. He's gotten breaks. He's managed to cash them in and just balance and keep it going, and that's what he's done.
Here are the key faces from the stars we saw in the first half for Florida State. Bob Davis, he didn't really play much, only had 1 of 3 in the first half. He was replaced by Kelly Lowry. Greg Allen had 7 carries for 44 yards.
Kickoff is taken at the 9-yard line. Returned by Florida State. It was Eric Thomas who returned it. And it's at the 25-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Seminoles. Chris Perkins kicked it off. 23-6. The Gators of Florida are leading Florida State.
Here are some of the other key faces for Florida State. Roosevelt Snipe was not much of a factor, only 3 carries for 8 yards. And Ouija Thompson, well, he didn't catch a ball.
Kelly Lowry is at quarterback starting the second half play here for Florida State. Bob Davis started the ball game. Lowry relieved him after The Gators went ahead by 10 points. Lowry throwing. Oh my, that's dangerous. At the penalty marker, he's trying to get it to Jesse Hester. The move was made by Bruce Vaughn, number 47, and the flag was thrown.
Let's meet the key faces of the Gator defense. Wilbur Marshall, what a first half he had. Had 1 interception and caused 2 fumbles. Alonzo Johnson, he had a big first half as well, made a couple of big tackles. Fred McAllister, he's been their leading tackler all season long. Again, a big first half. And the punter, Ray Criswell, actually he only punted 1 time, but it was for 49 yards.
Pass interference call against Florida. That is a first down at the 30-yard line for the Florida State Seminoles. Vaughn made his move on Hester. They are a man short there. Now they get the 11th man on the field, Hassan Jones. Kelly Lowry waiting to take the snap. Lowry's got the ball. He can throw it a mile. It's intercepted at the 46-yard line by Bruce Vaughn. And Bruce Vaughn returns it to the 34. Now fists are flying. Tempers are flaring. Fists are flying. The officials jump in to get them separated. Florida will have the ball on the interception, 1st and 10. Inside the 34-yard line of Florida State on Vaughn's interception.
This will happen when you're trying to play catch-up football. Kelly Lowry is trying to help his team come up with big plays. He forces this ball into some pretty good coverage. You see number 47, Bruce Vaughn Riak. We've seen Vaughn 3 times now be able to read the receiver, read the pattern, and drive on the football. That was his first interception, but he's played very well all game long.
The 5th time that Florida State has turned the ball over. Florida has not turned it over today. You saw Dixon in motion. That's Hampton. He's pulled down and pulled down hard. Isaac Williams, number 45 from Sanford, Florida. There's Vaughn, the man who made the interception. He was the man who had committed the pass interference on the play before.
Bruce Vaughn, they said it was a miracle, actually, that he's even playing. He broke his foot a year ago very, very badly, but he's come back and be able to play and play very well.
2nd and 13, Florida at the Florida State 37-yard line. Wayne Peace evades the tackler, shakes loose. Pulled down to the jersey by Henry Taylor, the linebacker.
Let's take a look at the key Florida faces on offense. There you're looking at one of them right there, Wayne Peace. He rushed for 2 touchdowns in the first half and threw for 127 yards. John L. Williams, 6 carries for 24 yards. Neil Anderson had 10 carries for 66 yards.
3rd and 8 at the 32-yard line. They're on a slot left, wide receiver right. Wayne Peace unloads it. Taken out there by John L. Williams, and he gets inside the 30-yard line. Stopped by Tracy Ashley.
The Florida State key defensive people in the first half. Alfonso Carricker, we saw him put some pressure on Wayne Peace there in the first half. He's going to have to continue to do that. Ken Rowe, we saw him hurdle that one player, make a big tackle, big stop on 3rd down. And Lewis Berry, again, he's only punted once for about 40 yards. Not much of a factor as we thought the punters would be.
Bobby Raymond's going to attempt a 47-yard field goal now. Criswell will hold for it. Raymond attempting 47. And it's good. Raymond's field goal is good. 3 more points for the Florida Gators as again they cash in the turnover. They lead 26-6. Here are the turnovers, the miscues, and the result thereof.
Every miscue has resulted in some sort of score by the Florida Gators.
Official yardage on the last field goal by Raymond, incidentally, was 46 yards, a 46-yard field goal. Now this is Chris Perkins kicking off. Snipes, 5 yards deep in the end zone, will not run it out. Touchback, 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
12:24 left in the 3rd quarter. Here's the situation where Kelly Lowry has got caught twice trying to force the ball downfield. He's going to have to be a little bit more patient. And if he can't get the ball downfield, get the ball underneath the coverage to a back, to a tight end. Take 5 or 6 completions to get the ball in scoring territory. A little bit more patience by Kelly Lowry is necessary.
A little trouble on the snap. Lowry takes it and just lunges forward, picks up about a foot, retains possession importantly of the football. Call it no gain, second down and 10 yards to go. McAllister was right there for Florida.
We talked about how deep the Florida secondary is playing. Remember, they're protecting the lead. Look how deep the safeties are of Florida. They are not going to give up any cheap scores.
I like this coaching staff's description of Mark Korf, the linebacker. They said he has a linebacker personality. He is a train wreck looking for a place to happen.
The axe handle.
Lowry. Well, he was hit before he could get rid of it, and Wilbur Marshall is the culprit. Wilbur Marshall, number 88.
So you want to be quarterback and play against Wilbur Marshall. This is what you're going to feel. You may not see him, but you certainly will feel it. Kelly Lowry under pretty good protection. From the backside, Wilbur Marshall.
The All-American linebacker, Wilbur Marshall of the University of Florida. I eat Seminoles.
That's Wilbur Marshall's dinner.
Snipes going out to a slot left. Kelly Lowry. Gives it inside to Tom Wheeler, his tight end. Out to the 26-yard line. Mark Korf was the man who made the tackle. Fourth down coming up, and the punting unit comes on. The hand is for the Florida defense. Lewis Berry in to do the punting. His longest this year has been 52 yards. Sibbald and Tony Lilly are back deep. Both former high school quarterbacks. Sibbald at the 33-35. Sibbald to the 40-yard line. First and 10 for the Gators. And they're leading in this ball game by a score of 26-6. A little cloudy and overcast here now with 11 minutes left to play in the third quarter.
The University of Florida is one of 7 Southeastern Conference institutions invited to play in a bowl game, marking the 2nd consecutive year and the 3rd time in the past 10 years that 7 of the 10 SEC schools have participated in a postseason classic.
At Florida Field in Gainesville, Florida, Lindsey Nelson with Pat Hayden. Florida has the ball. They're leading 26-6, and they have it at their own 39-yard line. Wayne Peace, the quarterback, gives it to John L. Williams. He's up back. He moves through across the 45 to the 48-yard line before Ken Roll comes in from linebacker to make the tackle, along with Pat Milligan. Bobby Bowden, head coach of the Seminoles. He really brought some life into the program. Starting in 1977 for 4 consecutive years, he won this game. However, it has been won by Florida the last 2 years, and Florida, of course, has a wide margin over the years. The series began in 1958.
Doesn't look too loose now, but last night he was pretty loose and confident about things. Things have not gone well for him today.
Second down, 2 yards to go at the 48. Hampton, Lorenzo Hampton's got the first down and yards to spare. Still breaking tackles, Lorenzo Hampton on that sideline and in for a touchdown. $52 yards. Bobby Raymond in to attempt the conversion now. It's 32-6 with a conversion attempt coming. Criswell puts it down. Booted up and good. 33-6. The Florida Gators are leading the Florida State Seminoles.
Florida has dominated the line of scrimmage, and here you're going to see Lorenzo Hampton behind Jeff Zimmerman, and Lomas Brown just break into the open. Football is still a game of blocking and tackling. Florida is doing the blocking, but Florida State is not doing the tackling. Another missed tackle right there. Hampton scoots into the end zone for yet another 6 points for the Gators. The domination of the offensive line of Florida. Take a close look at number 74, Jeff Zimmerman, number 75, Lomas Brown, as they lead the way. Phil Bromley in the center. They lead the way for Hampton. Again, he's once again the secondary. A missed tackle right there by McCrary, 43. A missed tackle right here by number 8, Eric Riley. And great determination by Lorenzo Hampton.
On the conversion attempt, there was a flag, but the penalty was against the defensive team, was declined, and so the point stands and is good. 33-6 is the score. Coming up next on most of these stations, you'll see big college basketball. And it doesn't get any bigger than Indiana and Kentucky, live from Rupp Arena in Lexington. Bobby Knight of Indiana, of course, against Joe B. Hall of Kentucky. That's a battle.
It's a very happy Florida bench. Florida scored on their last 6 possessions. Remarkable.
Chris Perkins is going to kick it off now for Florida. The penalty has been assessed on the kickoff, the penalty that occurred on the conversion attempt, so they'll kick from the 45-yard line. Unsportsmanlike conduct, the penalty that puts the ball at the 45-yard line. Perkins kicks it out of the lot, into the seats, 2 bases.
Somebody got a free ball.
First and 10 at the 20-yard line now.
Ground rule double, you call that, right?
That's what it is. Now we see if the Seminoles can move the football. They have been turning it over. They've turned it over 5 times, and 5 times Florida has capitalized. Kelly Lowry is still the quarterback.
But really, it's been Florida State's defense that's put Florida State's offense in a position where they've had to really catch up and throw the football, causing turnovers. 3 interceptions by that man, Lowry.
Jesse Hester to the right side, Reed G. Thompson to the other side. Lowry's got the ball, stumbles. It'll be marked at the 23-yard line. He picked up 3. Doug Drew was the defender. 2nd down and 7. Nine minutes, 56 seconds remaining to be played in the 3rd quarter. Gators are leading 33-6. Florida will play Iowa in the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville on December 30th. Florida State, of course, will play North Carolina in the Peach Bowl, also on December 30th. That one will be seen on CBS Sports. Snipes moving to a slot left. Kelly Lowry with the football. Incomplete. Out at the 33-yard line. Hassan Jones could not hang on.
When you are leading 33-6, your defensive lineman can really tee off, and Kelly Lowry is feeling the wrath of the Florida State front. Here's number 88, of course. Who else would you expect to be there? Wilbur Marshall. After he gets rid of the football, Lowry's hit and knocked down again.
3rd down play coming now for the Seminoles. It's been a day of 3rd downs for them. Hester and Weegee Thompson are the wide receivers, and there goes Snipes to a slot left. Contact made before the snap. Dan Arnada. Sort of moved. Contact made immediately. So the penalty is against Florida State. Arnada, the offensive left tackle from Dunedin, Florida.
Dead ball foul. Illegal procedure on the flag.
Once you're in the 3-point stance, you can't move.
Defense can. That's why the aggressive guys like to play a little defense.
3rd down and 12 now. Back at the 18-yard line. Hester and Thompson are wide. There goes Snipes to the slot left again. Kelly Lowry, the quarterback, has the ball. Look for Allen, but he was covered. Now tries to give it on a little shovel to Allen. Greg Allen, the man he tried to get it to. Greg Cleveland was putting on the pressure, and the punting unit comes on. The hand is for the Gator defense. Wilbur Marshall, part of that defense, and now the punt formation with Lewis Berry back there to do the kicking. Sibold and Roger Lilly are deep to receive it for Florida. Lilly is at the 45-yard line. Gets it up across the 50-yard line. And so they'll start, the Gators will, just across the 50-yard stripe on that 37-yard punt by Florida State, return 6 yards. It's 33-6, the Gators lead. The girl who became quarterback and homecoming queen, and she said that she couldn't play quarterback because she was too short.
You know who her idol was, don't you?
Who was her idol?
5'10" me. But it's a very thrilling story. Great determination. She ended up becoming the starting quarterback of the high school football team.
Were you really 5'10"?
With my shoes on and 2 pair of socks.
The Gators have the ball now, 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line. Leave it on the ground expectedly, and that's Williams carrying, and he gets down there to the 41-yard line.
Field position is so key in Florida. Actually, this is the 5th time that Florida has started a possession drive in Florida State territory.
Total yards right there.
Dominated every facet of the football game, and that's just an indication of it.
2nd and 1 yard to go for the Gators. Peace stays alive, throws back, and completes it. 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line to Walter Odom, the tight end. Little dipsy doodle for Peace. 16-yard pickup on the pass completion. You see this Florida team performing like they're performing today, and you say, well, what did they do earlier? Well, they were tied by Southern Cal. They beat Miami decisively in the opener. They lost to Auburn. They lost 10-9 to Georgia. That's it. The rest were victories.
Very close game they did have with Auburn as well.
It was indeed. To the up back. That's John L. Williams, and he's hit by Chavers, Lenny Chavers. No gain. There you are. Be happy.
When you're down 33-6, there's not a whole lot to be happy about.
Smile and be happy.
There you go. It's almost Christmas.
2nd out and 10. Florida's ball at the Florida State 25. Trying to unload it out down the left back. There's a penalty marker. Anderson was the intended receiver, and the move was made by Pat Milligan.
No flag. Contact was made behind the line of scrimmage. No flag.
We have scores of Division I AA games. Quarterfinal round in the 4th quarter. Western Carolina 14, Holy Cross 14. Furman 14, Boston University nothing in the 2nd quarter. Southern Illinois, the Salukis 13, Indiana State 7 in the 2nd quarter. Division II scores, Central State of Ohio 24, North Alabama 10. The ruling by the referee was that that ball was not catchable, and so there was no interference call on the flag because the ball was uncatchable. 3rd down and 10 yards to go. Wayne Peace hit just as his arm started forward. Incompleted pass will bring up a 4th down. It was Carrica, Alfonso Carrica, who was hanging on the shoulder. That's quite a load to try to carry.
Well, he's only 6'6", 260 pounds.
Peace is 11 for 17, 145 yards today, and this is his last game on Florida field.
Florida State
Conversion
defense.
attempt, or rather field goal attempt coming now. Bobby Raymond is in. This will be a 42-yard attempt with Criswell holding. 42-yarder. It's good. It's his 5th. His 5th of the day. And he ties Brian Clark, who in 1980 made 5 for the field goal record, a number made in the game at Florida. It'll be the Gators kicking off now. Chris Perkins will kick it off. He's got Roosevelt Snipes center deep. 7 minutes, 4 seconds remaining to be played in the 3rd quarter. Bobby Raymond, who has kicked 5 field goals here today to tie the Florida record for a number of field goals in the game. They're kicking from the hash mark left here. Chris Perkins sails it downfield. Snipes says that will go one hop across the end line. Touchback, 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Tomorrow, the NFL Today kicks off great regional action here on CBS. The Dallas Cowboys take on the dangerous Seattle Seahawks. The Atlanta Falcons face John Riggins and the Redskins, and these other games. It all starts with the NFL Today. Check the local listings for the game and time in your area tomorrow on CBS Sports. Bob Davis back in at quarterback. Now Kelly Lowry is being rested, and Bob Davis is back in at quarterback for Florida State. Davis started the ball game, was relieved after the Seminoles went behind by 10 points. Leave it on the ground this time. Roosevelt Snipes gets out there across the 25 to the 26-yard line. Alonzo Mitz made the tackle.
Florida State's offense never had an opportunity to gain any rhythm. Early in the football game, they had bad field position, and Florida jumped up on head 10-0. They never had any chance to get things going, to use the running game and their passing game together, which they've done all season long, and they've been forced to play catch-up all afternoon.
Six and a half minutes left in the third quarter. Davis with a quick flip there. Roosevelt Snipes pulled down for a loss of a yard back at the 25-yard line. Sybil made the tackle. He's a former high school quarterback. Third down and 5 yards to go. Thompson and Hester are the wide receivers. Roosevelt Snipes moved into a slot left. Davis. Completed it. Taken by Pete Patton, but he was hit immediately by Wilbur Marshall. Wilbur Marshall made the hit on Patton.
Boy, was it a hit, too.
The hand is for the Florida defense, as once again the Seminoles are going to have to punt it. Charlie Pell, head coach of the Gators. Sibold is waiting. He takes it at the 27-yard line. Sibold to the 30, 35. To the 40-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 40. We have a very special guest here now. Want to talk to you a little while. Tracy Calkins, one of the outstanding amateur swimmers in the world, as a matter of fact. Tracy, you stay busy at the University of Florida?
That's right. We get a real good balance of academics, social life, and athletics here at the university.
What about our Olympic team now? Is work being done toward getting our Olympic team in shape for next year?
Oh, yes. We've had a lot of preparation done the last year, as a matter of fact, and now everybody's really gearing up towards the Olympics. And I think the University of Florida has a lot of potential to have several Olympians on the team.
It's taken by Neil Anderson, and he gets across the 40-yard line down to the 43-yard line. Tracy, I know you're from Nashville, Tennessee. I know that, being a Tennessean myself. Whatever got you into the idea of swimming and being a swimmer?
Well, I got a lot of encouragement from my family, from my brother and sister who started swimming before I did.
Good luck to you, Tracy. The very best.
Thank you.
Tracy Calkins, one of our outstanding swimmers, getting ready for the Olympics next year. Student here at the University of Florida. Florida with the football right now, and it is taken by Wayne Peace. Pops it. It's complete. Taken by Lang, and he is up to the 43-yard line of Florida State. B. Lang made the catch. He's from Miami, Florida, and Ken Rowe made the tackle. He's from Cropwell, Alabama. 14-yard pickup on the play.
Some people might feel that Florida is rubbing it into Florida State's defense, but really not. There's 4 minutes left, and it's still just the third quarter. You still have to run your game plan, still throw the football when the opportunity arises.
Wayne Peace has quarterback the Gators all day long. Tight end in motion back toward the line of scrimmage. That's Lang. Can't get back to it. Second down and 10 yards to go at the 43-yard line. Florida's leading in this ball game by a score of 36-6 with 3 minutes 51 seconds left in the third quarter. Everything has gone well for Charlie Pell and the Florida Gators this afternoon in the regular season ending game here at Florida Field. Tom Petty is the tight end. B. Lang is a wide receiver. Petty's in the slot right in this alignment. In motion back toward the line of scrimmage. Popped out to Dixon, Dwayne Dixon. And it's at the 35-yard line. Tracy Ashley made the tackle on that corner. Steve Bloodworth played a fine game in the first quarter and part of the second. Then he went out of action, and Tracy Ashley moved over after the injury to Bloodworth to his wrist. Tracy Ashley moved over. Normally he's the backup and strong safety, but he's played the right corner rest of the second quarter and here in the second half. Third down, 2 yards to go at the 35. That's Neil Anderson. He got the two by stretching out that long live body for the first down. Carricker was hanging on.
Anderson carry. Stop by Carricker. First down, Florida.
Carricker, number 76.
The nose guard of Florida, Tim Newton, number 56. He's anchored the front there in the middle for the defensive team. Fine job.
Wayne Peace has just marked up another record. He's setting up numbers here this afternoon in this game, in his final game at Florida Field. He's a senior, of course. Lorenzo Hampton stepped out of bounds back at the 31-yard line. Lorenzo Hampton stopped by Tracy Ashley. And the Southeastern Conference total offense division, Wayne Peace has just moved past John Bond of Mississippi State into second place with 6,912 yards.
It's been right up front where Florida has controlled this football game today. Here's just another pitch to Hampton on to the outside. We've seen him run so effectively inside. Another missed tackle by this Florida State team. 38 is Ken Rowe. Although he makes a good play, he doesn't lock up. We've seen a lot of missed tackles by the Seminoles this afternoon.
Petty's in the slot right. Lang is beyond him. Dixon's wide to the left side. Petty in motion back toward the inside. And Peace fakes one time, pumps and throws. Dixon! What a catch by Dixon! Reached high, pulled it in, got the feet down at the 8-yard line. First down and goal to go at the 8. Milligan and Ashley were covering defensively.
The athleticism of Dwayne Dixon. You're going to see Wayne Peace, again, a very accurate throw. This is a tough throw because Dixon is well covered. He throws it over a defender. And Dixon has good height. He's 6'1". He goes up to the top where the ball is at its highest peak, catches the ball, knows he's going to get hit, and stays in bounds. A tremendous athletic play by Dwayne Dixon.
They picked up 23 yards on the play, and now the Gators a first down and goal to go at the Florida State Seminoles 8-yard line. Hampton inside the 5. Second down and goal to go. Ken Rowe coming in to make the tackle. Hampton has carried 10 times for 64 yards in this ball game. See time remaining. It is less than 2 minutes remaining to be played in the third quarter as Lorenzo Hampton comes off the field from Lake Wales, Florida. Williams and Anderson are the setbacks in there now. Anderson is the tailback in the eye. It's Dixon in motion across. Here's Anderson taking the pitch. Cuts back. Drives down to about the 2-yard line, where it'll be third down and goal to go. It was Prince Matt in to make the tackle. Third and goal near the 3-yard line. Anderson has carried 13 times for 74 yards. An impressive showing all day long for Charlie Pell's Gators. They had hoped this year to win the Southeastern Conference Championship, something that a Florida team has never done. Well, they didn't miss by much. Right to the goal line. Touchdown! Touchdown! Ashley and Matt made the tackle. Neil Anderson for the touchdown. Coming now. 42-6. Bobby Raymond is in to attempt the conversion now. Criswell will hold for him. And it's good. It is 43-6.
Another look at Neil Anderson as he fights his way into the end zone. He's going to get an excellent block from John L. Williams, number 22, his running mate in the backfield. They're coming right here. Watch number 22 Williams. He kicks out on 43 McCrary, gives Anderson a chance, but he drives into the end zone. Tremendous leg power, determination of Neil Anderson. But this was a series we saw a little bit of everything. We saw some inside running, some power running by Florida. We saw some outside running from Lorenzo Hampton. We saw him run on the outside. We saw Wayne Peace come up with a couple of big passes and a very athletic catch by Dwayne Dixon that really put him in a position to score the 6 points. And this is what happens when you have all 8 cylinders working.
Florida moves 60 yards, 10 plays, 353. That'll be Chris Perkins kicking off. Roosevelt Snipes is center deep to receive it for the Seminoles. 43-6. Snipes in the end zone. All you got to do is cover it, and down it's a touchback. First and 10 at the 20-yard line. These teams had the last 3 weeks off in preparation for this game. The Seminoles about now must be thinking, what did they wait 3 weeks for?
Some people suggest they took 4 weeks off.
Florida State has rushed for 50 yards. Florida has rushed for 256 yards. It is still Bob Davis in their quarterback. Motion all the way across. Hester. Quick pitch to Greg Allen. 27-yard line. Picked up 7. It'll be second down and 3 yards to go. Patrick Miller made the tackle. Outside linebacker playing behind Alonzo Johnson out there. Clock is running. Down to 35 seconds remaining in the third quarter. We've got Hester in the slot left. Bob Davis waiting for the snap. Give it to Allen, and Greg Allen gets the first and 10 down to the 33-yard line. Fred McAllister made the tackle. Clock is stopped for the first down, of course. Now it started again once the chains have been moved. First 10 at the 32. And that is the end of the third quarter. Our score is 43-6. Florida State. Florida's exclusive presentation of CBS Sports. We'll be back with the fourth quarter after a word from your local station.
Florida State versus Florida, an exclusive presentation of CBS Sports, is sponsored by the new Chrysler Corporation, moving America ahead with advanced technology.
Florida State with the ball first and 10 to 32-yard line. Leave it on the ground this time and move it out to about the 36-yard line. Snipes carrying on the play. Vic Fangio of the North Carolina staff is with us here in the booth, and you, of course, came to see Florida State. That's the team you're going to be playing. Give us an assessment first, though, as a neutral observer, about the performance of the Florida team this afternoon.
Well, Lindsey, Florida's played a great football game, obviously. They really have it going. The fans, I've never seen a group of fans into a game like this one is this year. Offensively, they are just ripping them up the middle, running the football, and Peace is a really great quarterback. He's durable and strong and has evaded their rush in crucial situations. Has really turned some bad situations into good situations for Florida.
Greg Allen on the carry, moves it up across the midfield marker. But you, of course, are busy in North Carolina getting ready for the Peach Bowl against Florida State.
Yes, sir, we are. Florida State, you can just forget about what happened today. It's one of those things that happens in football. They are a great football team who, coming into this game, lost 11 games by a total of 4 points to excellent football teams. And Bobby Bowden's a great football coach, and they will regroup for us, I'm sure. They got 3 weeks to prepare for us, and they don't want to end their season 6-6, which will be the case if they lose to us. So they'll be really fired up, and we better be up to the challenge.
Just hang on just a second here now. Here's the pass play that is complete out to the left flat. Out of bounds at the 44-yard line. Jackson with the ball, and it's going to be spotted back at the 46-yard line. What, in getting ready, North Carolina getting ready, what concerns you most about Florida State?
Obviously, the running attack, two-back attack with Snipes and Allen are two of the finest backs we've seen this year. Their quarterback situation hurt them today. I think the injury has hurt them. They've had some receivers open, but they've been late getting the ball to them, and twice resulted in interceptions. But offensively, they create a lot of problems for us. Like right now, they're in a one-back set. That creates problems for you. And their running attack, the combination of running and throwing the ball really creates problems for us defensively.
Incompleted right there. Coach Fangio, thank you very much for coming by, and good luck to you, and we'll see you at the Peach Bowl.
My pleasure, Lindsay.
The Peach Bowl on December 30th, Florida State and North Carolina, and you'll see it on CBS. It is 3rd down and 7 yards to go. Florida State has the ball at the Florida 46-yard line. Bob Davis, the quarterback. Intercepted by Florida. And it's Sybil. Roger Sybil, number 25, returns it to the 30-yard line of Florida State. 1st and 10. Jesse Hester made the stop. Another turnover, another interception.
The Florida defense is on a roll. This is their 6th turnover by the Florida State offense. You're going to see Jesse Hester come down. Bob Davis never saw Roger Sybil, number 25. Red Davis jumped on the ball, came up with the interception. Big play, another big play for the Florida defense.
6 turnovers for Florida State, none for Florida. Now, will the Gators cash this one in as well? They've been doing it all day long. They're leading 43-6 in this ball game. Wayne Peace is still the Florida quarterback. He's quarterbacked them all day long. Quick pitch to the tailback. And Anderson is stopped at the 27-yard line. Ken Roll made the stop. Gain of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7 yards to go.
The Florida State offense has not been good on 3rd downs, Lindsay. They've only converted 1 in 10 tries on 3rd down this entire game.
For Florida, of course, this is a non-conference game, and the Southeastern Conference has the best season's record of any conference in non-league games. Donnie Whiting in at quarterback now. Peace is out, and Donnie Whiting is coming at quarterback. He is a freshman from Titusville, Florida. Whiting, the quarterback, in place of Wayne Peace. Give it to the tailback again. Neil Anderson. There is Peace along the sideline. What a career he's had here at the University of Florida. He has hung up record after record after record, a few more today, as a matter of fact. And for today, he's 14 for 21, 190 yards. And importantly to him, his team is leading 43-6. Now Charlie Pell getting some more shock troops into the ball game now. He's got Hunt out, Schultheis out, Henson's in, and Zimmerman's in. Starting the substitution process in the 4th quarter.
Here.
However, if Charlie Pell elects to get everybody into the game that he has dressed, we're going to have a very interesting afternoon, because he's got people out there that nobody can identify.
Oh, my.
Stay with us following this football game now for basketball. Indiana and Kentucky. A big one, Bobby Knight against Joe B. Hall. Outstanding stars, and stay with CBS for college basketball right on to the Final Four in Seattle. Whiting with the football inside the 20-yard line. Out of bounds at about the 18-yard line.
The fun of college football. Freshman Donnie Whiting getting his chance to play here in front of a large crowd at Florida Field. Kind of fun when you get a chance at a big game like this, a big rivalry. He does pretty well for himself.
Henderson is the fullback. Short drop for Whiting. Trying to hit Lang. Incomplete at the 5-yard line. Eric Riley covering on the corner out there. 2nd down and 10 to go at the 18. Charlie Pell getting a little refreshment in the Florida sunshine, and it's been a happy day for Charlie Pell. Look at the stats, the game stats, and the advantage that Florida has in almost every area except turnovers.
Well, the 2 critical ones are turnovers, Lindsay, and time of possession. Really, Florida's had the ball nearly twice as long as the Seminoles.
Dixon's wide right. Lang is wide left. Fighting with the ball. Keeps it. Quarterback keeper. Bumped up to about the 13-yard line. Picked up 5 on the play. Where it'll be 3rd down and 5 yards to go. John McLean made the tackle for the Florida State Seminoles. It is 43-6. The highest score for Florida ever against Florida State was 49-0 in 1973. Whiting getting the play from the sideline. It has not been such a very good day for the head coach of the Seminoles.
Nice man. Hate to see that happen to anybody.
Hampton's the tailback. Henderson's the fullback. Hampton's got the pitch. But he can't go because of a fellow named Alfonso Carricker. 6'6", 260-pounder. He says his biggest thrill was going back to his hometown of Columbus, Ohio twice and participating in a win over Ohio State.
2 of them.
$74,113, a new stadium record in attendance here this afternoon. They packed them in for the Florida State-Florida game. Conversion, field goal attempt coming now, a 32-yarder for Bobby Raymond. 32-yarder is up, and it's good, and it's 6 for him today, and that's a new record for the University of Florida. And the Gators are now leading by a score of 46-6. Now to kick off for Florida by Bobby Raymond doing the kicking off. The man who's been kicking field goals. It's bobbled by Florida State inside the 20-yard line and recovered. It was Billy Allen, but they retained possession.
The reaction of Bobby Raymond. Kicked his 6th field goal, set a Florida record. This is college football.
Roger Riley, our statistician, Bill Friel, our spotter, are working double time and overtime. A new Florida personal record in field goals for Raymond, 20 in one season. First down and 10 yards to go outside the 21-yard line for the Seminoles. Eric Thomas, the quarterback. Put it off to Allen, Greg Allen with the football. And he got out to the 23, picked up 2 yards.
To tell you a little bit how badly things have gone for Florida State, they've had 11 possessions previous to this one. They ended up in 4 interceptions, 4 punts, 2 fumbles, and 1 touchdown.
Alonzo Mitz is the man injured, number 62, but he's going off under his own power. Eric Thomas quarterbacking Florida State now. In Lake Park, Georgia, sophomore, 6 feet tall, 190-pounder. Second down, 8 yards to go. Seminoles with the ball in their own territory. Eric Thomas with the ball. Eric Thomas still with the ball. Throws it on the run. Diving short catch. Pete Patton. Penalty marker on the play. Referee's flag. Jimmy Harper, the referee. Clipping against Florida State. Well, when you go in bad, everything goes bad. Just one of those days. Eight minutes, 42 seconds remaining to be played in this game. Flipping against Florida State. Marshall came off. Wilbur Marshall came off. Wilbur Marshall came out of the game here in the 4th quarter. He gets a hand from the student section. And from Charlie Pell, the head coach. Boy, if you got one like that, you want to embrace him. You'd also like to keep him for 8 or 10 years.
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
Eric Thomas from the goal line. Throw it up. Hester. Incomplete and almost intercepted. It was Vaughn, Bruce Vaughn, who almost gathered it in. Third down and 23 yards to go. Tony Lilly's coming off. Tony Lilly, the all-conference free safety has come off the field. Being greeted. Fred McAllister, 46, the linebacker's coming off. These are seniors who are coming off Florida field, presumably for the last time. Thomas from the end zone. Well, neither one of them could hold it, and both of them might have. That will bring on the punting unit because the Seminoles now will have to give it up. There's McAllister, the linebacker. Had a great career here. They're a happy gang of Gators along that sideline. Why wouldn't you be? Lewis Berry's back there to do the punting. Booms it out. Lilly went back in the punt return, but Sybil has it there with Lilly in front of him. And Sybil has returned it to the 43-yard line. So once again, the Gators get the ball. They get it in good field position, and they're leading in this ball game with 7:53 left by a score of 46-6. Stay with us for Indiana and Kentucky coming up after the football game. 1st and 10 at the 44 now for the Gators. And that is Williams, John L. Williams, struggling his way, blasting his way up to the 46-yard line, and Bryant Williams made the tackle. McAllister on the right, Marshall on the left, the Florida bench. Here comes some more. Lang is coming out of the ball game. Wayne Dixon is coming out of the game. That's Lang. Charlie Pell is there to greet him. Getting the seniors out of the ball game here now. Ball's at the 46-yard line. 1st down and 10 yards to go. Donnie Whiting is the quarterback. Handing it off and just blasting up the middle of the 43-yard line. Massey carried the ball.
As I see a lot of these seniors trot off, Lindsey, just reminds me that many of these players obviously will not go on and play professionally. This is their last game of football. This is a very, very special moments for so many of these seniors. Moments that they'll remember the rest of their lives.
At tailback now, James Massey, number 42.
And the Florida State seniors, well, they still have a bowl game to kind of redeem themselves and feel a little bit better about their careers. They have nothing to be ashamed if they played hard, and Florida's a very good football team.
Gary Roll just came off the field, number 86. Here is a timeout for Florida. Florida Gators have taken a timeout. We have 6 minutes, 32 seconds remaining to be played in this game, which has been dominated in every department by the Florida Gators this afternoon. 2nd and 7, Florida at the 43-yard line of Florida State. Whiting with a pop pass that is dropped. And it's going to be ruled a reception, a fumble, and a recovery by Florida State. A reception by Natil, and Tracy Ashley recovering. So Florida State gets the football.
You're right. It's a quick pass by Donnie Whiting. Again, the freshman, number 19, drills the ball to Natil. He's hit there. The ball pops loose. And there they are to make the recovery. First turnover of the game for Florida.
Tracy Ashley made the hit, and Brian McCrary was the man who recovered the ball. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. On the option play. And it's a keeper to Eric Thomas. Moves up to the 48-yard line. Let's take a look now at some Division I AA scores. Western Carolina leading Holy Cross 28-21 in the 4th quarter. And Furman is leading Boston University 21-0. That's in the 3rd quarter. Southern Illinois 20, Indiana State 7 in the 3rd quarter. Central State of Ohio 27, North Alabama 17 in the 4th quarter. Division II, Division III, the championship game, Augustana, Illinois 21, and Union of New York 17. That is a final score. Augustana winning the championship. It is taken by Cletus Jones from fullback. He's from Miami, Florida, and stopped by Doug Drew. Cross into Florida territory. But there's a Florida man injured, and members of the training staff are going out as we see Charlie Pell Don't forget the basketball coming up at the conclusion of this football game. Indiana and Kentucky, some of the great college basketball players, one of the great rivalries, Indiana, Kentucky. Those are the starting lineups. Those are some of the ball players you'll see. Blabb there for Indiana, marvelous performer. Bowie is back this year. Turpin, of course, with him, the Twin Towers of Kentucky. Jim Master, the great guard from Kentucky, the outside shooter. And so all of that's coming up.
But those schools have some tradition now, don't they? Kentucky and Indiana.
They have some tradition and they have some rivalry. They don't particularly like each other.
Patrick Miller, number 98, coming off the field. Not feeling too well.
Thomas with the ball and a pitch. And Roosevelt Snipes gets across the 40 down to the 39-yard line. Vernell Brown made the tackle. Wayne Peace, who has just completed a Florida field career here this afternoon. Great career at the University of Florida. He'll be at the East-West Shrine game. That'll be on January 7th at Stanford Stadium, and we'll be there. Now Steve Nicholas is in the ball game. He is the son of golfer Jack Nicklaus, sophomore, 6'2", 190-pounder. He's at a wide receiver. Thomas with the ball on the option. Snipes with the pitch, and Snipes has got the ball. Struggles out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Vernell Brown ran him out.
Roosevelt Snipes, the man who really didn't have an opportunity to take advantage of his talents here today because they got behind so much. They weren't able to get the ball to him in the open field like they had hoped.
They had hoped they'd have Greg Allen at fullback and Snipes at tailback and be able to get the ball to Snipes, and he'd be able to pick up yardage in the open field, and at Allen to be able to capitalize as a fullback. But they got behind so quickly that all of that went sort of for naught. Second down, 3 yards to go at the 32. That's Allen. Greg Allen's got the first down. He can run. Greg Allen, touchdown, Florida State. His 13th touchdown of the year. Timeout for Florida State. The Seminoles asked for a timeout. Score is now 46-12, although the scoreboard has gone a little awry. Scoreboard's given them 10 points advantage.
Here's Bobby Bowden. He's talking about a two-point play. Now, he talked to us about a two-point play. Actually, he's got 4 of them. But first, we're going to look at Greg Allen, number 26. Now, he can make some people miss here and then break some tackles as he did right there. They call him Mr. Touchdown for good reason, although he's not been in the end zone enough today for the Seminole fans.
It might be too little and too late, but it's something to yell about this late in the ballgame in any case.
Sure, but there's Bobby Bowden. He's got 4 different two-point conversions. He said if it came down to it, he would go for the 2 because he said he's never had a tie. Didn't have to worry about that today.
So let's see what Bobby Bowden has devised for us here in the late afternoon in Gainesville, Florida. Two-point play, of course. Get all you can when you're behind this much, 46-12. Eric Thomas, the quarterback. He may be diagramming it on the turf. Estes in the slot left. Weegee Thompson's outside him. Roosevelt Snipes in motion. Thomas knocked to the right side and nobody there. Greg Allen for the two-pointer. Greg Allen for the two-pointer. Well, it worked perfectly.
Well, Bobby Bowden felt it would. They put Snipes in motion. You see there, him to the left. A little screen to number 26, Greg Allen. Florida had a full-on blitz. There's no one there to pick up Allen. He catches it, dances in the end zone for 2 points.
So it is 46-14. Now keep in mind that on December 24th, you'll be seeing the Sun Bowl in El Paso, Texas. Lance McElhenney from SMU is the quarterback. It'll be SMU in Alabama.
Lance McElhenney, all he knows how to do is win, and he's won a lot since he's been at SMU. The tailback tandem. Jeff Atkins, the freshman, and Reggie Dupard. Boy, they are exciting. Here, take a look at Jeff Atkins. He is the freshman tailback. Here's Dupart. This is against Texas.
They'll be playing the Crimson Tide, the Red Elephants of Alabama. Ray Perkins in his first year as the successor to Paul Bear Bryant as head coach and director of athletics. And that's Walter Lewis, who had an outstanding year, one of the great quarterbacks. Here's the kickoff. Try the onside kick. Sibble with the ball. Roger Sibble took the short kickoff and returned it inside the 30-yard line. Sibble, a former high school quarterback.
And here's the play, an onside attempt by the Seminoles of Florida State. The ball bounces right into Roger Sible's hands, number 25. Then he cuts to the outside, has an opportunity really to go the distance. Picks up a couple of blocks. There's just a kicker and one other defender there. Kicker gets knocked down. Sibble cuts back inside. He is finally tackled, but not after a big play by the Florida team.
1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. Greg Allen's 32-yard touchdown run a moment ago for Florida State was the longest TD run this season for FSU. Hand off to James Massey. Massey tried the left side, got nothing. He was hit over there by Tracy Ashley. Let us make note of the fact that Pat Hayden has left the booth now, and he is making his way downstairs. We are hopeful that at the conclusion of this game we can get some comments from the Florida Gators, who had such an outstanding performance here this afternoon, from Coach Charlie Pell and some of his outstanding players. Whiting, Donnie Whiting is the quarterback. Whiting's got the ball rolling and looking, throwing on the run, and completes it. Down near the 15, about the 16-yard line, it is Gary Roll. Gary Roll from Miami, Florida, gathered it in. 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line, a 14-yard pickup. So the Gators retain possession. They are leading by a score of 46-14. 3 minutes, 40 seconds left to play in the game. Whiting, the quarterback. Hands it off to his tailback. Neil Anderson getting it down there to the 11-yard line. End of about 5. It'll be 2nd down and 5 yards to go. Kim Mack made the tackle. Gators are driving toward another during the late afternoon in Gainesville, Florida. Gators came into this game with a record of 7-2-1. Tied Southern Cal, lost a close game to Auburn, and lost 10-9 to Georgia. That's all. It's been an outstanding season. Defeated Miami in their season's opener. Whiting rolling and looking and keeping in the 10-yard line. And it'll be marked at the 6-yard line. Might be a first down. It's very close. Alfonso Carricker and Isaac Williams made the stop. It is marked out there about the 7-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down and less than a yard to go. Gators will try to pick it up here with 2:23 left on the clock. Whiting with the ball and rolling and looking and pumping and keeping. And touchdown for Whiting. Took it, rolled out, took it into the end zone. It's the 3rd touchdown scored by Florida quarterbacks today. We have a conversion attempt coming. It's 52-14 right now. Conversion. And it's good. Kick there by Bobby Raymond. One more point, 53-14. So look again at Whiting as he takes the handoff and comes rolling and looking. It's an option pass or run. He looks, doesn't find anybody open, sees a lot of daylight. Now he's hitting about the 2-yard line, but he simply lowers his head and barrels in there from that point on. And there he goes for the touchdown. So the Florida Gators now leading 53-14. with 2 minutes and 12 seconds left to play in this game on Florida Field. Bobby Raymond kicking it off and is taken at the 10-yard line. Return to the 15. Billy Allen carrying, and he is across the 20 and pulled down about the 22-yard line. And there's Whiting, who scored the touchdown, the quarterback who came into the ball game. Incidentally, the 53 points is the highest score for Florida ever against Florida State. The previous half, 49-0 in 1973. Our thanks to Florida State Director of Athletics C.W. Hootie Ingram, and to head coach Bobby Bowden and his staff, and to SID Wayne Hogan, the University of Florida Director of Athletics Bill Carr, head coach Charlie Pell and his staff, and SID John Humanick, and Assistant Director of Athletics Norm Carlson. Florida State with the ball first and 10 at the 21-yard line. A pitch taken by Roosevelt Snipes, and he gets about 5. Goes out of bounds at the 26-yard line. Fred McAllister made the tackle. Clock is running. 1 minute, 45 seconds remaining to be played in the game. The Florida Gators leading by a score of 53-14. Eric Thomas, the quarterback. Florida State has used 3 quarterbacks today. Thomas with a late pitch. Roosevelt Snipes goes out of bounds at the 29-yard line. Hidden out of there by the Florida defense led by Randy Clark. Taken to the inbounds marker and spotted at the 29-yard line. The Florida State bench, and it has not been a very happy place today. It's not been a great deal to yell about. Florida State came into the ball game with a record of 6-4, but they had missed a perfect season by only 10 points, lost 2 games each by a score of 17-16. Won the opener from East Carolina 47-46. Thomas sets and looks and pumps, and it's complete. Taken by Panton. Pete Panton, the receiver, number 96. McAllister made the tackle. First down and 10 yards to go for the Seminoles. Florida 53, Florida State 14. With the ball, rolling and looking, stopping and throwing long, way downfield. Hester's down there, incomplete. No marker, simply an incompletion. 41 seconds left to play in the game. Vito McKeever was covering defensively. 2nd and 10 at the 41-yard line. University of Florida with an impressive performance, which should improve their ranking in the wire service polls. Wire service polls now, of course, continue until after the bowl games in anticipation of the national championship. Florida has never finished in the top 10. One would have to say that their chances appear very good to do that this year. Thomas handing it off to Allen. Greg Allen, number 26. Allen up to the 48-yard line. Mark Korf made the tackle. The man from Pasadena City College in California. See the clock running. "20 seconds left to play on this game. 3rd down and 3 yards to go. Some of the records are being announced to the crowd. We've had a number of them statistically this afternoon that we've passed along the time of their occurrence. Thomas, crowd's counting off the clock. Thomas still got the ball, throws it, and it's incomplete. That'll stop the clock with 3 seconds left. Weegee Thompson, the man for whom it was intended. Weegee Thompson. Charlie Pell's getting the ride already. The clock has not run out, but they were anticipating that it would on that play. So Charlie's going to get a second chance. He's getting him back off the field now because Florida State simply has to snap the ball. That's what you call a dry run. They just wanted to see if they could get Charlie up there and move him out on the field. Now they get him up ready to go again. That's what you call at the ready, but it's on the sideline. Clock starts on the snap, 3 seconds. Gators leading 53 to 14. Thomas with the ball, and time has run out. If that ball ever comes down, this game is over. Incomplete. The game is over on the incompletion. Vernell Brown back there, and he's had it off his hands. The game is over. Charlie Pell gets the ride. His team dominated the Seminoles here this afternoon by the final score of 53 to 14. Bobby Bowden coming across the sideline there now, looking for his adversary to shake his hand. We're going to be back here with Wilbur Marshall, the great defender for the University of Florida, in just a moment, so stay with us. Final score once again, the Gators 53 and Florida State 14. Once again, the final score, the Florida Gators 53 and Florida State 14. The Chevrolet most valuable players of the game are Jesse Hester for Florida State and Wilbur Marshall for the University of Florida. A check in the amount of $1,000 will be donated by Chevrolet to each college's general scholarship fund to further assist qualified students in all chosen fields. The seniors are on the field. And now let's go down, and Pat Hayden's going to talk to one of those seniors. Let's go down to Pat Hayden.
Thank you very much, Lindsey. I am here with Wilbur Marshall, the Chevrolet most valuable player. Wilbur, could the defense have played any better than they did today?
I don't think so. We played pretty close. We played pretty tight. And I think that the young guys showed that they can play a little team ball with us. And the older guys have made it sweet for us.
Wilbur, you're a senior. It's your last game here at Florida Field. What kind of emotion did you have going through your mind?
I just feel like crying right now. It's been a long time. And 4 years, and I love it. I love the people, and the people here are great.
Thank you, Wilbur. Now we'll go back up to Lindsey Nelson.
All right, Pat Hayden, that's what college football is all about. You come, you stay 4 years, and then you move along to something else. We'll be back in just a moment. Executive producer of college football, Kevin O'Malley. Florida State produced by Rick LaCivita. Florida State directed by Robert Fishman. Associate producer, Craig Silver. Field technical manager is John Pumo. These are all the people who have made this telecast possible here from Florida Field, our last regular season game, and we are extremely proud of our technical crew who have brought you these games throughout the season and who have made it possible for us to bring them to you as well. Be sure and stay tuned now for Indiana and Kentucky coming up shortly. The big basketball game. Be sure to stay with us for scores and highlights with Brett Musburger and Ara Parsigan in New York. Once again, the final score, 53 to 14, Florida. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports.
This is CBS.
The Charlie Pell Show is brought to you by Atlantic Bank, the best bank around. By the members of Dairy Farmers Incorporated, your local producers of Florida milk. By Production Credit Association and Federal Land Bank Associations of Florida. We speak farming. By your 140 Ford dealers in Florida and South Georgia. Have you driven a Ford lately? By the makers of Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Gatorade shows you've come to play. By Likes, makers of Florida's favorite hot dogs. By Merrill Lynch, a breed apart. By Old Milwaukee, it doesn't get any better than this. By Scotty's, the company you can trust. By Florida SeaWorld, home of the shark encounter. By Stoll Bandits, take a pouch instead of a pup. By Zenith. See the new Zenith Smart Set at your authorized dealer.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Charlie Pell Show. Well, it was a very impressive Florida football team scoring a 53-14 win over Florida State Saturday. And Coach Pell, congratulations to you, the team, and the staff.
Well, actually, you know, it's one of the unusual things that can happen in football, and with a 3-week layoff, it was likely that something weird was going to happen, and it did. Our team played exceptionally well against an outstanding team, a well-coached team, and they had a good game plan. We got some good breaks early. We got the turnovers. It gave us great field position. The offense took advantage of it. We had Wayne Peace played exceptionally well. Our team didn't get any silly penalties to speak of, and didn't commit turnovers, and it became a kind of a lopsided victory, which is not indicative of the two teams, but it was a great, exciting day for Florida football. It was one of those days we'll cherish, and the seniors themselves have to put this down as one of the great memories.
Coach Pell, we have an awful lot of highlights to take a look at because there were so many great plays on the Florida side of the field, and we'll be back and do that after this word from our sponsors.
Every season has its greats, its winners.
Now, you may be a winner too in the Real Seal See a Winner, Be a Winner sweepstakes. Every week on the Charlie Pell Show, we'll be showing you a Gator Great. To enter, send a Gator Great's name with another winner, the Real Seal. You'll know it's a real dairy product when you see this Real Seal. Weekly winners will receive $50 and tickets to a Gator home game of their choice. And all entries qualify for the grand prize of $1,500, tickets and accommodations, plus travel by Eastern Airlines to all Gator games next season.
You'll also find the Gator Greats and sweepstakes rules in the December 3rd issue of TV Guide and the Gator program for all home games.
Watch the Charlie Pell Show each week so you can enter. And remember, when buying milk and other dairy products, look for the Real Seal.
You're all winners when you buy real dairy products. You'll know it's real when you see the Real Seal. Here's to the winners.
Sponsored by your local dairy farmers, producers of Florida fresh milk.
In investments, as in life, the only thing you can be certain of is change. At Merrill Lynch, our unsurpassed resources enable our account executives to guide you towards investments that best complement the times. It is this awareness of changing economic conditions and our expertise in responding to them that can help you reach your financial goals. Talk to a Merrill Lynch account executive and understand why we are Merrill Lynch, a breed apart.
If you're a smoker, inside this little can is a legitimate alternative. Introducing Skoal Bandits, an individual portion of wintergreen flavored tobacco in a neat, pre-moistened pouch. What you do is put one between your lip and gum. What you get is great tobacco taste without lighting up, and you can enjoy it wherever you are. If you're a smoker, try new Skoal Bandits. 20 pouches to a can. Take a pouch instead of a puff.
A national television audience and a record Florida Field crowd of 74,113 was on hand for one of college football's great rivalries. On the first play of the game, quarterback Wayne Peace takes the ball and throws it to Lorenzo Hampton for a 9-yard gain. A few plays later, Peace takes to the air again and finds his favorite target, Dwayne Dixon, a 12-yard gain into Florida State territory. Then the senior quarterback is throwing again, this time to Newberry freshman Ricky Natile. This play picks up 38 yards. On fourth down, Bobby Raymond attempts an apparent field goal, but Ray Criswell takes it and is stopped on a heads-up play by Seminole Ken Rowe. Florida State takes over, but when Greg Allen takes it up the middle, Wilbur Marshall delivers a devastating blow. The ball pops loose. The fumble is recovered by Tony Lilly. Then Neil Anderson runs the ball through a gaping hole. Offensive lineman Phil Bromley, John Hunt, and Lomas Brown lead the way. Anderson picked up 18 yards. Peace puts the Gators on the scoreboard first by keeping the ball and diving in for the touchdown.
Well, you know, the main thing coming into the game was to leave with a victory on Florida Field, and that if I played well, that would just be a bonus. And to have them both, it's a great feeling, and it's just a tribute to the team, what we can accomplish when we put everything together.
FSU takes over, but when quarterback Bob Davis shuffles a pass to Rosie Snipes, Wilbur Marshall and Bruce Vaughn sandwich him for a 6-yard loss. And on the Seminoles' next possession, Davis gets the ball to Allen again. This time, Allen fumbles, and Orlando sophomore Greg Cleveland recovers. On first down, Neil Anderson takes the ball and runs off left tackle to pick up 11 yards. Then Bobby Raymond, who was in for a big afternoon,
boots in a 34-yard field goal. At the end of the first quarter, it's Florida 10, FSU nothing.
The first quarter ending with a 10-0 lead for us was nothing really, because Florida State's so explosive, and that's not really a good lead. I think the thing that probably set the tune for the day was we got 2 turnovers of their 3 possessions. The defense was playing great football. Our defense was. They were hitting well and coming up with a big play, giving our offense good field position. The first drive, we took down there and ran for the fake field goal. We thought the fake was there. We wanted to get 7 points on the board. We wanted to get a touchdown. We failed to do that. 10-0. It's just a ball game right now that's even, actually, with the great talent Florida State has.
The second quarter begins with the Seminoles' only score of the first half. Quarterback Kelly Lowry sails one 33 yards downfield. Jesse Hester makes a beautiful catch. But the Gators quickly retaliate with a scoring drive. Peace, under pressure, passes over the middle to Dwayne Dixon for a 16-yard gain. Then Florida's balanced offensive attack sends John L. Williams up the middle for 13 yards behind fine blocks of John Hunt, Phil Bromley, and Lomas Brown. On 4th and 11, Bobby Raymond attempts the 33-yarder. It splits the uprights, and UF is on top 13-6. FSU's Kelly Lowry again goes to the air, but the Florida secondary gives him fits. First, a pass is broken up by Bruce Vaughn. Then another is tipped away by Vernell Brown. And Lowry's third attempt is intercepted by Wilbur Marshall.
What we try to do is we put in a stunt, like I was going to pretend like I was going to rush, and what we was going to do is bring the inside linebacker, and I was going to take Fred position on the drop. And they told me to take the guy coming across, and Fred came in and put a lot of pressure on him, and I was just sitting there waiting on it. And then I think he just saw so much pressure, he just threw it out there, and I was just sitting out there, you know.
Deep in Seminole territory, Wayne Peace throws left to Neil Anderson, who makes a great catch in a second effort in gaining 19 yards. The pass was Peace's 604th career completion, which broke both the UF and SEC record. 2 plays later, Peace keeps for his second touchdown of the afternoon. Raymond's extra point put the Gators ahead 20-6. On FSU's next possession, Lowry decides to go to the air again. This time, it's picked off by Dunellen Jr. Ricky Eastman. Then Wayne Peace takes over and shows some excellent passing skills. The familiar Peace to Dixon combination picks up 19 yards on this play. Then fullback Joe Henderson picks up 3 consecutive first downs, capped off by this 18-yard run with the help of John Hunt and Lomas Brown. Bobby Raymond gets his 3rd field goal of the day, and the Gators go to the locker room with a 23-6 lead.
What an effort by our defensive unit in the second quarter. Florida State scored with a 33 touchdown yard pass to Jesse Hester. A great play by Jesse and a great catch. And Wilbur Marshall blocks the extra point. Then we follow that with an interception, touchdown. And then the defense comes back with another big interception. And then, of course, comes up with another field goal. A great second quarter by our defensive unit and probably turned the tide in the ball game. Tony Lilly, Ricky Eastman, Randy Clark, Roger Sybil, Bruce Vaughn, all of our people on defense coming up with a big play. Greg Cleveland and Tim Newton and, of course, Roy Harris. Great defensive play in that second quarter.
Beatico Creek, Louisiana and Milwaukee both mean something great to these guys. Beatico Creek means bass, fat and tasty. And Milwaukee means beer, cold, crisp, Old Milwaukee beer, and the smooth golden light taste of Old Milwaukee Light. Old Milwaukee. And Old Milwaukee Light. Tastes as great as their name.
Let me tell you, it doesn't get any better than this.
It's a bold new challenge from the electrifying all-new Thunderbird. With aerodynamic styling as smooth as this Mercedes. A quiet, luxurious interior with more front legroom than this Volvo. And an available fuel-injected turbo with more horsepower than this BMW. Test drive the all-new Thunderbird and challenge the world's best. See your Florida or South Georgia Ford dealer and drive it.
It doesn't matter how hard you work. Without farmers, you couldn't bring home the bacon, or the eggs, or anything.
But since the American farmer is willing to invest his lifetime with no guarantee of success, you're free to pursue your dreams and goals. So chances are, if you don't appreciate farmers, you just haven't tried doing without them.
There was a tremendous crowd on hand at Florida Field for the Florida State game Saturday. A new record crowd at Florida Field, 74,113.
How many records have the Florida people set? You know, they just keep coming out, the season ticket sales for our student body, our season ticket sales, and the Gator Booster production support. The Florida people have been tremendous, and they just keep responding to the challenges that are facing them. There's no question that they will face any challenges in the future, and they want the championship so badly. Our senior class, there's nothing that could have happened that would have been a more fitting tribute to our seniors. On offense, John Hunt and Buddy Schulteis in the line, Dwayne Dixon, B. Lang at receiver, Wayne Peace, Joe Good in the offensive line, Mark Herm as a specialist snapper on defense with Wilbur Marshall, Roy Harris, Fred McAllister in the linebacker crew, Tony Lilly, Bruce Vaughn, Vito McKeever, and Randy Clark in the secondary. Tremendous tribute. This game, a tribute to our seniors for their contributions, their field for the University of Florida.
Coach Bell, you'll be pleased with our player feature, I think. It's one of those seniors, an outstanding young man, wide receiver Dwayne Dixon.
That's great.
When you set a goal and you accomplish it, I think that's success. The greatest accomplishment is coming in here and being a starter for Florida. I work on my precision on my routes. I think that's important with the lack of speed that I have, but I try to compensate it with precision of routes, concentration, and my blocking ability. The main thing I work on is my concentration. Sometimes I work on it on my hobbies, and I concentrate on certain things, and I balance things. I work with my eye-hand coordination with juggling, and little activities like that help me keep up my concentration. Plus catching the ball, watching it all the way in, watch where I put it, throw it up. And sometimes in the dark, I just try to feel it at night, while I'm just lying in bed.
You sleep with a football?
Yeah. My father's always told me, if I'm going to do something, then just do it well.
It's the people that makes him special. It's not him, and it's not us. Just the way he carries himself and the people, the fame.
The people around this area, it's just, they're behind you 100%. At home, there was a lot of discipline and love in the house, and I couldn't play sports until I got my grades and my schooling right, and I just thanked them for it, and I never got a chance to, but now here's the time. And, they're loving people, and I just, I think it shows through me by the way I carry myself and by the things I do. I want to get my degree in criminology, and then I'll get a shot at the pros if they give me a shot.
He's always been quiet and calm, and he never do a whole lot of talking. He seemed to be happy all the time.
I have some problems, I sit down and sew, and I think about them. I sew certain things for guys and stuff like that, but mostly, it's for my relaxation. And in the future, I plan to get married and have some kids and live a happy life. And I think that's most important, is being happy.
Business with our neighborhood bank. You're doing business with one of the strongest banks in the state, Atlantic Bank, at the center of Florida's growth, backing tomorrow with billions in assets and expanded services like money market accounts and discount brokerage that save you time and make you money. All at your neighborhood Atlantic Bank, where you profit from the strength of the best bank around.
I see a sea.
A cruise.
No, a sea world.
We went to SeaWorld
3 years ago. But now it's bigger, better, always changing. I see lots great shows, each many times daily. Shamu, Shark Encounter, sea lions, but not long lines. I see surveys saying people like it just as much as Epcot. Maybe you like it more.
And the price?
SeaWorld is not a fortune.
Florida's
This is the reason Florida's favorite hot dog is live. Anyone can tell you Florida's favorite hot dog is live. Florida's favorite hot dog, Florida's favorite hot dog is live.
You can tell a player by what he brings to the game. His intensity, his desire, his equipment. Gatorade Thirst Quencher. It's standard equipment. Because when you give it all you got, Gatorade helps give it back. Gatorade, it shows you come to play, now in fruit punch flavor.
The third quarter began with the Gators roaring onto the field for their most dominating quarter of the game. And they take up where they left off in the first half. On FSU's second play of the half, Lowry passes over the middle, and it's intercepted by Bruce Vaughn. Vaughn returns it 20 yards. 4 plays later, Bobby Raymond again, this time a 46-yard field goal to make it UF 26, FSU 6. When FSU takes over, Lowry is forced to the air again because of the stingy Gator rushing defense. But this time, Wilbur Marshall puts on the heat, and Lowry's pass is incomplete. Florida takes over, and Lake Wales Jr. Lorenzo Hampton takes the ball and heads for the end zone. A spectacular 48-yard touchdown run, and again, the Gator offensive line had paved the way.
Well, I think the offensive line today had a good game. Everybody played well together. Coaches had us well prepared, and we came out, and they threw some different stuff at us, but we picked it up well, and we had a good game. It's a great way to finish off a career, beating Florida State.
Yeah, I think it really was a great way to finish up, and a lot of credit has to go to the coaches and the defense. The defense did a great job giving us field position all day long with big plays, and the special teams gave us good field position also.
Later in the third quarter, Peace is in control again. This one goes over the middle to Walter Odom for a 16-yard gain. Raymond adds 3 more points with a 42-yard field goal, and the Gators are up by 30 points. The Gators force FSU to punt again. Then Peace rifles a pass to Beelang for 14 yards into Seminole territory. Then it's Peace to Dixon again. Peace's statistics were very good. 14 of 20 completions, 190 yards passing, and 2 touchdown runs. He moved into second place in SEC total offense. At 7 more points as Anderson runs off left guard for a 3-yard touchdown.
The third quarter was the biggest single quarter in the game. It started with an interception by the defense, our defense, on the second play of the half, and then, of course, the defense playing such great football that they only gave up 1 first down in the third quarter. A great offensive drive during the quarter. Lorenzo's Hampton 48-yard run. The offensive line blocking of John Hunton, Phil Bromley, Lomas Brown, Buddy Schulteis, Crawford Kerr, Billy Henson played a lot of football. It was really the most dominating quarter in the game and really the difference, in our opinion, in the entire affair.
The fourth quarter begins with the 4th Florida interception of the day. This time it's Roger Sibbald, the junior from Dunellen, grabbing a Bob Davis pass. Sibbald returns the interception 38 yards. Again, the Gators capitalize on an FSU mistake. Donnie Whiting, a freshman quarterback from Titusville, enters the game for the record-setting piece and runs it for 7 yards. Then Bobby Raymond hits his 6th field goal of the day. That ties an NCAA single game record and breaks the Florida record for field goals in both a game and a season.
It felt really good, and right after the kick, Ray Criswell came up and gave me a big hug, and I have to tell you, it means a lot to me to have a snapper and holder like Ray and Mark. They've just done a fantastic job all year, and I think they played a big part in why I was able to have as much success as I did today. They're just dependable. I can count on them 100% of the time.
Florida State scored a touchdown to make it 46-14, and the Seminoles try an onside kick, but Roger Sibbald picks it up and takes it 24 yards with the help of a nice block by number 23, Curtis Stacy. Then Whiting passes to Miami junior Gary Roll for a 14-yard gain. On On third down, Whiting keeps the ball and scores the first points of his Gator career. It's a 6-yard touchdown run. The final score, a convincing 53-14 victory over the Florida State Seminoles. The Gators had won the state championship for the second consecutive year by beating both Miami and Florida State. And on this day, they were most impressive. 509 net yards for the Gators, 257 for the Noles.
The best thing about our fourth quarter is the game was in control, and we were able to play young people like Donnie Whiting, who I thought did an outstanding job the short time he was in there. James Massey from Monticello. We played a lot of young linemen, everybody that was dressed out that we had hoped to play that wasn't red-shirted. We got in the football game. We played an awful lot of young people, and that's always good. Sam Garland from St. Augustine, a big lineman from Fitzgerald, Georgia. We were proud to get him in the game. Don Tenney from Clearwater. People like Vernell Brown, who played great at free safety. Young people who got the chance to just get in a big game and get some playing time. That's awfully important, and to us, that was a highlight of the fourth quarter.
This week's Gator great is Fred Abbott, all-SEC linebacker. 3-year letterman and captain of the 72 Gator team, Fred is currently doing color commentary for Gator football on TV. Enter the Real Seal See a Winner, Be a Winner sweepstakes. You may be a winner, too.
Volume buying. That's how Scotty's gives you everyday low prices. With over 100 conveniently located stores, nobody can match our buying power. Just look at the savings.
Rake in the savings now with the Leaf Rake by Union Fork and Hoe. Was $1.99, now just $1.39.
Helpful service, quality products, a great guarantee, and everyday low prices on everything, from a simple stopper to the kitchen sink. The savings really add up at Scotty's, a company you can trust.
More than 100 TV channels are on the horizon. That's why Zenith invented the Smart Set, the only set smart enough to give you 178 channel capability now. With access to more channels through Zenith's Space Command remote control, you'll tune in the future without leaving your chair. Advanced System 3, the Smart Set, exclusively Zenith.
Bill Hall's Appliance is your local Zenith dealer in the Tampa Bay area.
Meet some of Bill Curry's best salesmen, his customers.
They're very active in the community, and I think that's important, and people notice that.
It's not one of those like, who are you? They pretty much know that we're from Cushman Farms, and that they know pretty much what we want.
They treat you like your relatives.
Cared about my car, but they cared about making me happy.
Don't ask Buck Curry. Ask me.
They're the foxiest ladies you ever laid eyes on.
I beg your pardon.
But make no mistake, these girls are anything but pushovers.
We can stay here as long as we like and do whatever we like.
They've got brains, beauty, and a badge.
Everybody stay right where you are.
So why would anybody want to take advantage of them? You should never have to ask why. Here's to an evening with Charlie's Angels.
Monday through Saturday at 6 here on TV 28. Closing comments here on our last regular season show.
I'd like to compliment our student body on the great sportsmanship they showed. I know Bill Carr and Richard Giannini and you, David, all worked all week on trying to get the word out to the people. Is, you know, the thing about sports is showing good sportsmanship, playing hard, playing to win with everything you've got, but being good sports about it. And I thought both teams on the field played that way. After the game, I had a good feeling of the players visiting with each other, and of course, Bobby Bowden's one of the great coaches in America, and he showed so much class. And I think that's what the rivalry should be all about. And of course, the main thing, again, about this show is the sponsors. I know our Florida people and everybody involved in college football should realize that the sponsors make all these shows possible, and I hope that they'll make a special effort to just recognize that and recognize who our sponsors are and those that care about college football and young people and what it means to our state of Florida. And it's awfully important. That's a great contribution to the growth of sports and to our young people.
Coach Pell, the sponsors and the fans, and we will get one more crack at this. We'll have a Gator Bowl special. It's going to air on most of these stations now on Christmas Day. You'll have to check your local television listings for the actual time of the program. But we'll be looking for you then. The Gator Bowl special, December 30th is the game. Remember that, in the Gator Bowl, the Florida Gators against the Iowa Hawkeyes.